Who did you expect? Who did you expect? Who did you expect? Who did you expect? Who did you expect?
Welcome to the east side. We don't wait for doors of opportunity, we just wait on when we gotta kick them in. Decatur, Georgia, or a den of thieves. Hidden leads just to feed the village. Hidden leads make them feel like ninjas. Niggas always keep the metal tucked till you run up, get your face cut. Got your brookins on the back end. Though too many niggas trapped, they be stuck in genjutsu. They see the world from a different view. Shadow clones cause they silhouettes. Hard to point out when they robbing you. You never know what be inside of you. You never know who you be talking to. Till it's 2 a.m. on the east side. Black as shadows in the nighttime. They don't wait on nothing but the right time. He ain't come around the corner. Shots fired, that's a nigga down. Sad, but this is normal around this town. I've been crying for my niggas found. I've been praying for my niggas down. Always looking for some progress. Try a nigga, he gon' regress. Locked and loaded that nigga ready. Turn your brains into red spaghetti. I be looking for God here. Hopefully see that I'm trying here. Save my niggas cause they really lost. Talk to my niggas before you write them off.
They say, Vic, don't you move on that side, boy. Both the crime rate and junkies stay high, boy. Scary niggas, they ain't see my vision and they see it, they want on the convoy. Stop by the corner store, know that it's kissing. Then let them watch windows, pump gas for a bag of chill shot with the water. But no, they got size, I don't need no patchouli. I just want water. Star bitch with my brothers like Pops and Earl. We gon' turn Keller Road right into a Melrose. I might turn Wesley Couch to a motherfucking church. And they got my people and teach them their worth. I don't need no appraiser, I'm knowing the worth of my property. They just owns out the cap, always a lot in the world. And I'm winning it all like construction on this side. I'm taking my time, now it's 2 a.m. on the east side. Up as fuck, no, I'm writing rhymes. Late night, not an early morning like an alchemist. I'm turning under something. Shots fired, that's a nigga down. Sad, but it's normal around this town. Cause I'm calling, say you beat the charge. He can't wait to come back around. Other cousin calling, y'all stout. Say he heard prices went back up. I confirm they gassed up. Told him chill, though, cause we next up. People be looking for God here. My job is to teach them look in themselves. Say my niggas cause they really lost. Speaking for the ones they breaking off.
Who did you expect?
Biggest the what? Biggest the what? Biggest the what? Biggest the Super Bowl.
Niggas so thirsty, don't put me in beef. Dissecting my words and start looking too deep. I look at the tweets and start sucking my teeth. I'm letting it rock cause I love the mystique. I still wanna give me a song where I be. Can't trust everything that you saw on IG. Just know if I diss you, I make sure you know that I hit you like I'm on your caller ID. I'm naming the album to fall off. It's pretty ironic cause it ain't no fall off for me. Still in this bitch getting bigger. They waiting on the kid to come drop like a father to be. Love when they argue the hardest MC. Is it K Dot, is it Aubrey or me? We the big three like we started a league. But right now I feel like Muhammad Ali. Yeah, Muhammad Ali, the one that they call when they shit ain't connected no more. Feel like I got a job in IT. Rhyming with me is the biggest mistake. The Spider-Man meme is me looking at Drake. It's like we recruited your homies to be demon deacons. We got them a 10 in your wake. Hey, how the gang got away from the bars, man, this shit like a prison escape. Everybody stepping, we're fucking, and everybody breakfast, and I'm about to clear up my plate. When I show up, it's motion picture, blockbuster. The goat with the golden pen, the top toucher, the spot rusher. Spray this whole shit up, the crop duster. Not Russia, but apply pressure to your cranium. Codes automatic when aiming with the boy in the status of stadium.
Big as the Super Bowl, but the difference is it's just two guys playing shit that they did in the studio. Niggas usually send they verses back to me and they be terrible, just like a 2-year-old. I love a dinner with some fine women. When they start debating about who the GOAT, I'm like, go ahead, say it then. Who the GOAT? Who the GOAT? Who the GOAT? Who the GOAT? Who you bitches really rooting for? Like a kid that had been from January to November, nigga, it's just you and Cole. Biggest the what? Biggest the what? Biggest the what? Biggest the Super Bowl.
Hey guys, how y'all guys doing? It is Thursday night, and you know what we do over here on the Aaron O Show. It's the Either Man Williams takeover. We want to say thank you guys for coming over. First thing first, you know how we do it over here on the Aaron O Show. We got to shout out our sponsor from last show. So shout out to JJ Carver. Shout out to my guy JJ. He was the sponsor of last show, and he always said that he always started off gifting memberships. So appreciate all the people that's actually gifted memberships. We're about to get this thing started really, really quickly. Aaron O will be here very shortly. We just want to say thank you guys actually for tuning in for today, because I think today is going to be a great show. So shout out. Let me see. We see that we already got some people gifting memberships. So we got, guess what? T.O. gifting a membership. He gave about 2 memberships into the chat. JJ Carver doing what he do, always supporting. Thank you, brother. Gifting memberships. Make sure y'all maintain y'all memberships. Now, I know Aaron O ain't going to say that, but make sure you go in there and put a credit card or debit card so you maintain it, because I know Aaron O is definitely about to start cooking up some stuff for his members. And I'm telling you truthfully and honestly, I think that it's going to be good. But we about to get this thing started really, really quickly. First of all, how was you guys' week? It's Thursday. There go my brother Aaron. Aaron got his water on that. Matter of fact, let me make a call real quick. See, Aaron had to go get his own water. Hold on. Let me make a call. Let me shoot a text.
Gang.
Shout out to JJ for being the sponsor of the last show. Shout out to JJ. Shout out to T.O. holding us down. We got Mo and Mo sponsors. We got Mo and Mo memberships. Yeah, it'll be live real soon. Oh, I want to say shout out to my members. Roughly about two weeks, I'm going to start streaming shows for members only. And as far as all the generals go, I know most people are just a general just because they want to support me. But you can email me at any time if y'all want to set up that monthly 101 to talk about whatever y'all want to talk about, except things that we can't talk about.
I want to talk about you getting married. Can I talk about for my whole once a month? We talk about Aaron O getting married. Matter of fact, let me upgrade my membership right now, because we gonna talk about it for a whole hour. Would I get an hour?
You gonna convince me an hour?
I said we're gonna talk about it. I ain't say I was gonna convince you. I don't know if it's that much convincing in the world, but what I do know is that we can at least talk about it, have a conversation. How's your week going?
Man, crazy week, man. I'm through with this week. Every single day I've been stuck in the office. Every day I barely got here in time. You know me, I hate being late. I hate playing with people's time. I'm very, very big on that, but business comes first. So I had to take care of that. But other than that, it's been cool. It's been cool. You know, the same old. Nothing but grinding, trying to figure out how I want to start the conversation for my members, where we want to start at and continue to build on. So I'm planning that out. And we just were about to ramp that up real soon. So I'm excited about that. Life is good, brother. I can't complain. Life is good. I cannot complain.
I actually like this time of the year. So in my business, in the summertime, things just naturally flows. In the wintertime, we have like some challenges. So I think it makes sure the wintertime makes sure I stay on my feet. I'm gonna say that. It definitely makes sure I stay on my game and make sure I'm working on my craft, and it's showing me things to make sure the next, season of our business is put together. So I want to talk to the chat about some stuff before we get into the topic. Are you guys planning? I guess the question I'd be asking people in the chat, and Aaron, have you guys already start planning for 2024? Have you start making like income goals? If you have a family, goals that your family's going to do, some of the things that you want your kids to accomplish. Are y'all guys starting to plan like vision nights where y'all sit down with your wife and your kids, and they might put like a car or put down something on their vision boards? Do you think that people are already thinking of 2024, or you think people still stuck in the Christmas mood right now, Aaron?
People head hurts when it comes to thinking about math and finances. So they not worried about that. Let's be clear. They're not doing that unless they part of like the bag chasers, something like that. So they're not planning that. They focus on Christmas. They focus on getting some gifts. You know, men are looking for their stockings to have socks in it. We already know what's coming with that. So a whole bunch of socks in there. Bad kids gonna get a rock. Because I remember my older brother got a rock for Christmas. He was pissed. He was a little bad though. He was a little bad. I ain't gonna front. So yeah, I think Christmas is the thing. It's the one thing that kind of brings people together. Women, especially, they talk about is this Christmas stuff. Oh, don't talk to me.
Well, so I guess people call myself a bad parent. We ain't gonna start talking about the parents yet, but people call me a bad parent because I refuse to lie to my kids. I'm not telling them there's no Santa Claus. It's not no random white man coming to our house. Your daddy work hard, and your daddy who's gonna be getting you gifts. So what I do throughout throughout December is I just let my kid randomly, open gifts. So today, what we did is we got her a remote control car. And we put it together. We let her ride it. I think we did my youngest. We did kind of like this thing that have like the alphabets on it, different things like that. So yeah, just those different things is that I think that we planned for Christmas in October. So we had already had the gifts. We already had those type things. And now what we're doing in so many words is what we're planning for is the new year. So this is what I tell people, man. If you really kind of want to get in front of everybody going into the next year, y'all should be planning. I think you should already have it planned. But sit down with your significant other, sit down with your kids. Even if you're a single mother or a single father, you should be sitting down with your kids and painting. There's one thing that I've learned is that you want to give them the vision of what's coming next. Like, it's one thing to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to buy your mama this car and don't do it. It also holds you accountable. So just a heads up, I think that we also should be able to tell our kids what we're going to do, and then we should go out and do it.
Man, those kids better be lucky they get whatever they get. I'm tired. I'm about tired of all these praising these kids like they done did something. You 1 year old. You ain't brought nothing but headaches to this family. Nothing but headaches. Mom and dad fighting. They got to wake up at 2, 3 in the morning. Why all these kids deserve all this praise? I don't understand, y'all. I don't know what the obsession is with kids. I don't get it. They're pretty useless.
They're pretty useless.
Yeah, they're pretty useless. They're not going to do you no good until they get up a certain age and they can pull on your face and grab your beard and punch you and you can't do nothing back. Them kids ain't no good for you. They nothing but stress for most of the time. So no. I'm tired of us overvaluing these bunch of these kids ain't doing nothing. No. How much they adding to the GDP? How much they adding?
Interesting. That before we get in that, I want to talk about something else. This is a video that I really wanted to get Aaron O take on it. So I want to play this. We're gonna talk about the kids. Trust me, guys. We got time. But I want to talk about this video because this video is kind of talking about going green. Let's play this video real quick before we start talking about Aaron O and these kids. I ain't gonna let Aaron O trigger me. See, Aaron O tried to trigger me right there. If you listen to his word, he thought he was slick. He was going to talk about my kids. He was going to talk about the Williams kid, and he wanted me to fall for that trap. Nope, that's not how the show designed today.
All you going to say is, I love my kids because they are amazing. I just want to look. What you going to say? Oh, they make me smile. They just warm my heart. Okay.
I ain't going to let him trigger me because, I believe the Williams kids, I understand, if you have some Aaron O kids, he might not value them as much as the Williams kids because they're gonna be better than all the other kids at the school. But we're gonna talk about that a little bit later.
Return on investment.
You need a return on investment. All right, cool. Let's play this video real quick. Hey, chat, I really want y'all honest feedback, what y'all think about this. First of all, have anybody in the chat? Well, I know Aaron ain't got one, but I was gonna say, have anybody actually bought a car that is electric car. If anybody bought an electric car, as people know, I love buying stocks. I love investing in companies. And I've really been kind of studying these electric cars. Let's see kind of what's going on in that industry before we actually start diving into our main subject today.
Car companies are pulling back on the production of electric vehicles, and there's a simple reason why. Nobody is buying them.
Aaron, do you think that's true? That nobody's buying electric cars?
It's not 0%, but it's a very low percent. It's a very low percent. Definitely a very low percent.
Let's play a little bit more of what this lady talking about.
A group of big automakers, including Ford, Tesla, and GM, are slowing down production because of lackluster demand. More than 3,000 car dealers signing a letter opposing Biden's electric vehicle mandate, talking about how the cars are, quote, stacking up on our.
So hold on, let me ask you a question, Aaron. Do you think Biden knows better or what's going on in that industry, or the top three in that industry? Who do you think is more qualified to know where we're going with these electric or EV cars?
That's like a setup question. The more qualified is the president of the United States, because he has unlimited resources, unlimited access to unfiltered information for most things that is not, let's just say, intellectual property, right?
But let me ask you this question. And I hear where you're going, but what if the president can't retain the information or keep the information? Is he still the most qualified person?
No, I don't trust him. Like, if you're saying if I had to bet my last dollar and I only got about $1,999 left after I do that, I'm gonna need every penny. So I wouldn't put no trust in him. But the reasonable answer is the person with the most access, the most powerful person in the country. It would have to be him. But I mean, realistically, he's not an expert in that industry. He doesn't have a background in it. So no, you probably lean more into people that understand industry. But at the same time, a lot of people fell and destroy their businesses in the industry. So it depends on who you're comparing him to. Are you talking about the top three auto companies, CEOs, or?
Well, we talked about, they said Tesla, Ford, and I think one more other company. Let's play a little bit more of the video before we get started.
They're a little biased.
They're a little bit biased. So you telling me they saying go against their industry, do something opposite of what they was pushing? They must be biased. Okay, let's play a little bit more.
Yeah, I think they're biased.
Lots. A new study is also revealing the true cost of electric vehicles, which is roughly the equivalent of $17 a gallon.
Ooh, is that that's like inflation times 10. That's like $17 a gallon. We got people complaining about $3 a gallon. Maybe these EV cars are just for rich folks. These cars are just for people like Anton, the rich people. Maybe that's what it is. Let's play a little bit more.
Leave it to our stumbling president to ignore all the signs of the coming EV disaster. Biden out in Colorado pushing his green agenda.
So, Aaron, what do you think in Colorado he's talking? When he's pushing this agenda for these EV cars, what do you think? Are he saying that we should do what's best for the company? Or you think that he got some financial gain from doing what he's doing?
You want my honest answer about this question, or what I really think the purpose for these electric vehicles are?
I want your honest answer for this question, because I'm gonna get your honest answer for the purpose of the EV at the end.
Okay, repeat the question, because I don't want to get confused.
All right. So, what do you think? Why do you think that he's pushing this so hard? Why do you think Biden is so big on going green, going electric, 100%, getting rid of gas cars? What do you think the motive behind it? I know you're speculating, but what do you think that motive is?
The thought in my mind is control. I believe the more technically advanced a vehicle is, the more susceptible it is to a technical control, if that makes sense. So, like, for example, right, and a lot of tech guys will tell you this, they've taken tech out of their vehicle because it's kind of dangerous. they pass. Well, I don't know if I want to say that right now because we on the internet. But let's look at it like this. Let's assume you have a kill switch in the car. Let's assume that it's a requirement by law that you have a kill switch in the car for reasons because of drunk drivers, right? Well, let's assume that law gets passed and they hide it behind some bill, whatnot. They can stop your vehicle from going into certain areas in which they don't want you to go, things like that. I think it's a level of control that comes with those type of vehicles. And also, I think that all we're doing is closing one industry and creating another problem for it. Like, if you create the problem, you bring the solution. So, all right, there's actually not a huge problem with what the system is now. People can make arguments both sides, but we're creating another problem here and then solving it for them. So it's just a way to continue to my opinion, to maintain stranglehold on consumers. Because I think there's going to be, JJ, I'm not going to say it, JJ. I'm not going to say it. But I think there's a stranglehold in which we have on customers. You get a car 15, 20 years. We really don't know how long these electric vehicles can actually last consistently, wear and tear on the road year after year after year after year, mass produce. So I think there's a lot going on.
Interesting. Let's play a little bit more.
We set a goal to produce 100% carbon-free electricity by 2035. And because of my commitment to clean energy future, Made in America clean energy companies started investing here.
But he says that people who live in apartments think, well, where am I going to charge it? They get frustrated. For example, the trucks, when you go to tow something or put a trailer on the back, they don't work as well. And people are saying they're still too expensive and they don't want it anymore. This is a house of cards. And when the house of cards starts falling down in states like Connecticut, watch out. The bottom can fall out very quickly.
Joe Biden's green scheme is a total flop, but he is still forcing it on Americans.
Yeah, I think one of those things that we're learning, to be honest, is that I think you gotta start asking yourself those questions, like what is people's true motives and different things like that. I think you're absolutely right. Most people haven't had the chance to ride in one of these cars. Have you rode in an EV car yet?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think I have.
So my financial advisor, he has a Tesla. And you know what we did was just say, hey man, let's hop in a Tesla. I really wanted a Tesla, maybe because it was cool at the time. And
you're a victim. You're a victim.
I am a victim. It was cool at the time, and I said, man, let me drive your Tesla, since I can see if that's what I want, right? Obviously, I'm one of his biggest clients. He let me drive the Tesla because we'd have a problem if he didn't let me drive the Tesla. So, so the crazy part about it, when we got a chance to get into the Tesla, it's certain modes that know way too much. Like when we got into the Tesla, what it did was we can turn it where the whole dashboard turns into the road. And the one thing that caught me is that Tesla, the trash can came up. The dog walking across the street comes up, right? The human that's standing there come up. And I'm asking, we're not talking about a camera. I mean, this is a digital stream, 100% digital. And you're 100%. So we put it on autopilot, which I thought that my life was in danger. That car was hitting corners like we just stole something from the bank. When I say it was hitting the corners, it's hitting the corners way aggressively, right? And I think you're 100% right. Having control, being able to shut the engine off, having the ability to say, hey, you know what? We can be able to control where this car go, when this car crank up, when it gives them a lot of control of that car, because I've seen something that it wouldn't let me open the door. You know me, I'll try to do stuff that I was supposed to be doing. It wouldn't let me open the door while the car was driving down the street. What if I want to jump out the car? What if, I know that might sound crazy, but what if I feel like my life is in danger and I want to get out this car? it wouldn't give me.
I knew something was up when there was I forget what state it was that had like a hurricane issue or it was flooding going on. I forget what it was, but Elon Musk said, I'm going to access the battery and I'm going to extend the mileage. So if you even bought a vehicle that was capped at whatever the mileage is 175, whatever it was, the capacity that the battery actually has, he can actually send an update to extend that. So if you only get 175 miles, these are arbitrary numbers. I don't know the exact numbers. I'm going to extend it to 250. That's crazy. I was like, dang, he can do that from a computer? Oh, man. And once I heard that, I was like, okay, it's just a matter of time before you start to look at the other things that can be done. And I'm listening, I'm paying attention, and I'm like, oh, wow. And Anton did a video the other day about how Detroit has the first electric, I want to say street, right? Where the your car gets charged while you're driving. I don't know the right terminology for it, right? And I'm like, and it's a small, it ain't a lot of real space of it, but just the start of it. And when you looked at connectability, I remember Verizon, AT, all of them were talking about connectability and all these things from one vehicle to another, communicating with another. It's a lot going on there. And it's a lot of tech involved, and a lot of these tech people will tell you the things that they can do. So I'm just paying attention.
Maybe I'm a prisoner of my childhood, right? But truthfully and honestly, when I be hearing about this type stuff, I gotta go back and think about I'm the Robot by Will Smith. I know y'all guys might think that I'm tripping, but letting them have a little bit too much control. I don't know if anybody ever seen this I, the Robot by Will Smith, but one thing we do know is that I don't think it's so much of like someone gonna get control, like a robot be controlled, but I do think the people in power can definitely be in control. So
I'm not that extreme with my thinking. I believe humans will always be ahead. I believe we'll always be predictive of what could happen. Even the most diabolical human be trying to do some crazy stuff. Whether it's storing water, whether it's kryptonite, whatever it is that what that robot components are made of, there's some sort of substance we can use, something in which we can use to defend and control, just to destroy. So I'm not too concerned with that, honestly. I just want to see them push the limits. I want to see them really see how far they can go with it. So I'm intrigued by it all.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those things that what happened if we reject it as a population? It's cool when everybody is for it, but what happened if we reject it? Do you believe that the government, because I think we're seeing not like a major rejection, but we are seeing a rejection from the consumers on the buying portion of it, right? If the consumers at mass say, you know what, the majority of us don't want it, do you believe that like Biden or president, whoever's in power is going to say, you know what, you're not going to be able to drive at all?
No, they're not in charge of that. So unless you can build your own vehicle, right, which most people can't, they already have laws and put in place after 2030 or whatever in Cali, you done, like forget about it. So they're just not going to produce any more of those vehicles, whether they're selling or not, whatever you want to call it. In order for you to get a new vehicle, and every year we have somebody turning 18, 16, 17, want their license, want their permit, they want a new car, they're going to have to get one of those vehicles because they're not going to produce them anymore at some point. So like we really don't control nothing. It's about when they make us buy into the system and make us think we're the ones actually doing it.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you know how like we hear people like Uncle Jeff, they talk about like the end of the world is coming. I don't know if you ever went to Uncle Jeff's show, but he talked about the end of the world is coming, right?
That's why you gotta stay away from old people. No, seriously. I'm telling you, these people are out of their mind. Like, let's just break it down. You've had conversations with 70 or 80-year-old people, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are people that still think there's going to be a run on the banks. Oh my God, I got to get my money. What if they don't get my money? When has that happened in the last 30 years? Has it happened? Have the apocalypse happened to where all these hundreds of dollars that you storing because you can't get in there, they closed them all down, and now you are negotiating with these bills that you've been holding because you can't trust them? Have you had an opportunity to actually explore that? The answer is no.
So you believe that it's no possible way that the dollar's going to collapse? You think it's just something made up?
It's never going to collapse at the rate in which we think that all of a sudden we're going to wake up one day and it's just going to be gone. No, there's going to be a gradual adjustment when and if it does happen. There'll be a gradual adjustment, and then we'll have make a shift. It's not going to just be wake up one day like another country and then, hey, look, this money is worthless. No, that's not going to happen. No.
Hey, you know, when I put the title in place, you know, the one person I was hoping that actually showed up, like, because I was like, this dude swear he know everything about being parents. He think he know how to make things perfect. Shout out to my guy Sharon. I was hoping you came through because you was the person I wanted to have this conversation with.
So wait, Edith, man. When you was thinking about this title and everything, you was thinking about a man named Sharon?
Yeah, I was thinking about
Sharon. Yeah, I don't need no explanation. You was thinking about Sharon. That's cool.
Let me tell you why. Because I didn't know if Aaron's going to be here. You know, Aaron, he was acting funny yesterday on his show. He was talking about Friday. I was like, man.
I think we need to move Lonzo.
That ain't no problem.
Huh?
That ain't no problem.
Well,
you like what you like, brother. You like what you like. Ain't no problem. Ain't no problem.
So I was like, you know, I don't know if I can depend on Aaron. You know, he got that show with Cheeky. Shout out to them. Make sure y'all tune into their show tomorrow. But he wasn't talking about my show. So I was hoping Sharon can actually help me break this thing down. You know, because I ain't know. You know, sometimes you just don't know if they got your back or not. I'm just playing. I know you got my back. But no, how you doing, brother?
Good, y'all? How you doing? I'm on this boat heading my way back to the United States, and I was enjoying myself. It was a good time.
You got a Tesla, don't you?
I got rid of mine though.
See, look at them. They're getting rid of them. I'm telling you. I know it.
You don't know why.
Crazy.
He might have
I
been
don't care why.
Listen,
I know everybody who got a Tesla getting rid of it. I know some people who done took some losses.
No, JJ got a Tesla. Talk to my guy, JJ. JJ said he got.
The real reason I got rid of it is because I just need something bigger. To be honest,
had all them kids, huh?
It's cute. It's cute, but yeah, the kids is getting big. I needed something bigger. I got a dog. My dog is like 100 pounds, so I needed something bigger.
So cool. So yeah. So I want to talk about, you know, the successful children and is it a formula? Let me ask you this question. I guess I'm gonna go to Sharon first. Sharon, do you believe it's a formula for having successful kids?
Ooh, a formula. I would say yes. I don't know. That's a loaded question for me. That is a loaded question for me.
Because the last time me and Aaron was having the show together last Thursday, he talked about, you know, if they a genius, they just gonna be a genius. Their parents don't really matter. He said you can't stop a genius from being genius. And I'm just asking, you know, is it a formula to really produce successful kids?
I think it's a formula to have productive kids in society. Successful, I think, is a very strong word because successful usually we talking about financial success and pressures in the society and how powerful they are in society. I think maybe it's not a formula for that because usually those people, they come out from the dungeons and they come out from the darkness and shit. So
interesting. I think you know the one thing that I strongly dislike when people say, I hear a lot of parents say this, a lot of parents who's not being good at being parents. They say, you know what? You know, it's not no book out there to tell you how to be a successful parent. I think that it's such a bad statement.
There absolutely is a book.
It's absolutely a book on it.
I'm not saying the book don't work, but there is absolutely a book out there.
Plenty of books.
I would say it's thousands of books out there to tell you how to do the right thing. Hold on 1 second. Shout out to my guy Trey. Appreciate you coming by because Trey said he came up here to talk about the future. He said that he know what these kids need, and he here to talk about the future, right? So, but that's usually when I start not really believing that you is as good as a parent as you can when you start talking about book out there, because I know one book. One book.
Well, the problem is that it's difficult to be a consistently good parent, because when they get on your nerves, when it's late at night, when you tired, you still supposed to be that good parent. And a lot of people, they just want to whoop their children's ass and get a shortcut to being a good parent. They want to say, I was tired. No, you can't be tired.
Wow. Did you get whoopings growing up?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I that's all. Thank you for asking the question.
I think that Sharon is, when I look at Sharon, he's one of those good members of societies. And one of those whoopings changed his direction in his life. You know what I'm saying? Listen,
you don't know me. You don't know what I've done.
I know Sharon. And Sharon was out there fighting. He was out there, especially, y'all don't know the Sharon with dreads when he was a little hood. He had like a little hood. He had a little hood in him. And he was just a little different, right? But you know what I'm saying? I think, in Proverbs 22, it says, teach a child, and when they get older, they won't stray away from those ways, right? So I think that his mother and father put a foundation, and it came with a leather belt one time, and that's why he's such a great parent today.
He had to overcome that household. I hate to tell you.
Yes, that's what I had to do.
He one of those that I had to overcome. You never guess that these his parents type of thing. I know I shouldn't say that, but it is what it is.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, I think very hard times create amazing people in the future. I think sometimes our kids have it too easy. When I go back and look at people, when I talk to people about my childhood, they're like, "You went through that?" And I said, "That's why I'm great." I don't look at it as an excuse, like that's why I'm not successful. No, the reason I am great is because the one thing that I learned very early in life is how to deal with stress, how to deal with adversity. I learned that in my household. So when I went out to the real world, when stress came, it wasn't something that can break me. When I was in basic training, I seen dudes crying. I mean, they was on their knees crying. I was like, dang, man, you just needed a black mama. If you had a black mama and a black daddy, man, you could have made it through this basic training easily. In my office, because I might be
that's kind of messed up. I don't appreciate
so either man, you saying me taking my children on this goddamn big ass mega boat and going to like 3 different countries is gonna create horrible little human beings because they're not gonna have the same kind of stress. They stress was like, I want to go to the water park today. I was like, no, you are going boogie boarding instead.
No, I'm not saying that you should not reward your kids and they should not have fun. Like, my kids gonna go to Disney World, my kids gonna go on cruises, my kids gonna do all those too. But I also create a stressful environment to be able to help them understand how to understand stress.
Give me an example of a stressful environment that you created.
So for example, I create a environment that makes my kid think. Let me play a video for you so you kind of understand where I'm going before we get there real quick. Give me 1 second. I'm new to. How you doing, Trey? You got something to say before we get into it?
No, he asked that question. I was hoping you can explain.
Oh yeah, I'm going to explain it. I got you, Trey. I'm going to explain it for you. Let me play this video real quick. Y'all guys can see that video?
Yeah.
Let me play this video. Make sure it's not muted.
Justine Musk, Elon Musk's ex-wife, and she said, to be a successful entrepreneur, you need to get comfortable with dealing with a level of stress that would break most people. And once you get good at it, it doesn't really feel like stress. It just feels like what you do. But then you're so far ahead of what other people can deal with that you just kind of keep going from there. Justine.
So creating a level of stress, right? Creating a level of stress that most people cannot deal with that become normal to be great. What do y'all guys think about that? Creating, and I can give you an example of that, but creating a level of stress like that most people cannot deal with.
I think creating a controlled environment to test stress is okay, but just creating stress for yourself is not going to be a good thing for the long run for most people. So what I mean by creating some kind of control stress is like, for example, the thing I could think of is basketball. When people say you got 10 seconds to make it, they got like 10, 9, 8, you got to dribble and try to make a shot with the before you say one, right? It's kind of controlled. It's not really the game on the line, but at least you get used to the sense of the clock ticking down and you get more in tune with the timing it takes for you to make your move in 10 seconds.
Yeah, I think stress it can be a good thing. It lets you know you're being challenged. It lets you know there's a roadblock, there's frustration, there's something that is not an easy thing for you to manage right now. And so it's testing your capabilities. And so I think it can be a good thing. I think for certain people, that's not going to be good for them, especially for kids. I think you have to be very, very careful with the levels of stress that you try to put them through. But everybody's their own parent. You do what you think is best for your family. But yes, I believe when you're in chaotic environments, right, and you're constantly navigating, and they're challenging you to, it's like a breakthrough, right? You know how something becomes easy to you after you've done something so much, and it's like a breakthrough. Y'all remember that Jimmy Neutron, the little his brain to go off like click? It's one of those things when you're in stressful environments. Once you learn how to manage it, right? Because to me, I believe it's like you run to the stress, you don't run away from it. Because once you can manage that environment, then it puts you at a step ahead of everybody else, because most people run from stress.
Well, you know a person who was really good at creating stress, like a person that's really good.
Michael Jordan.
No. No. Basketball.
You know, you close. You real close.
Either man.
LeVar Ball. LeVar Ball. LeVar Ball created an atmosphere of stress for these kids.
Hold on. They were not. Come on. Either man, look. I know you're a bright young man. I want to believe that you can convey what you're trying to say. Go back to that first success where they showed the little light-skinned boy. The success word. Put that back up there. Please, brother. I almost see that. Yeah, the success. The kid with his arms up. Please, man. Please. The little light-skinned dude that looked almost, but he's that. Yeah, I thought it was a little light-skinned brother, but I'm gonna take the word. I'm gonna take him.
I think that's an Asian kid right there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I'm gonna take the Asian kid out and put a little nappy head, a little tighter broad, a little boy or little girl of the big nose and big lips community. Yeah, brother, we all got them. See that nostril, you can breathe. Good nose, good lips. Yeah, but anyway, you know, success, especially, well, I don't want to talk about the stress because no normal human being creates stress in their life. Now, even as a parent, there's it's not even stress. It's grooming a child, and grooming a child takes a little time, and they may have a little stress in the moment of trying to learn that skill. But brother, if what you're saying is true, I believe all brothers have the ability to eliminate stress from their children by engaging in their lives. You can be, it's not, and as age develops, the level of attainability develops, the level of being able to age appropriate information. In our community, we just over age appropriate children information. I guarantee, brother, your kids ain't running around banging on stuff, kicking stuff down. They doing their homework every day, ain't they?
Yeah, but
hold on. Are they doing their homework every day?
Yes, my kids do their homework. Absolutely.
In most of our communities, it's not as disciplined like that because they don't have. It's not a lot of two parents. Even if it's 2 or 3 kids, nobody has that discipline instilled. Just doing the basic kid stuff. Go play with your toys. Go play with your dolls. Do your schoolwork. Do your little chores around the house. Those things are not balanced out in most regular neighborhood communities.
Well,
and you cannot.
Where do homework got anything to do with this conversation? Homework does not make you a good kid or a bad kid if you do your homework.
No, what I'm saying, But he says talking about levels of stress. As a parent, like you said, you creating levels of comfort for your family and your children, not levels of stress. But you teach them responsibility through the information and the demonstration. So if you're talking to them, then you demonstrate it, they learn 10 times faster, especially from a man's point of view.
I get what you're saying, Trey. I'm not disagreeing, but I am saying the reason that when we start having this conversation, kids that understand how to handle stress at a younger age are typically the managers of the world. They're typically the people who run the world later because they're good at actually handling stress. And you're saying that it's not good. It's to put a bubble around your kids where they avoid stress into adulthood.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying teach your child. That's going to be enough stress for a child to be able to come in and represent as an age group 20, 30 years down the road against the world. Teach your child how to do everything that you talk about. That's all you got to do. It's the basics. He's traveling with his children. They're going to travel with their children because he's setting the level. He's there. And if you're there, you can go get your kid and take her to the monkey bar, show her how to do the monkey bar, show her how to be successful.
Well, hold on. Let me play this video for you, Trey, and I want you to tell me.
Stress in your child's life. You got enough stress paying bills. You got enough stress.
Listen, hold on. I got you, Trey, but let's play this video. I want you to let me know if his son's stressed out. Would you call his son stressed out in this moment?
Once again. Hey, listen. I'm gonna make you lift weights today. Yes, right after we finish eating. Oh, we'll be good, man. Make sure you're on point. Gotcha. We're gonna get down.
I had to go to the chiropractor before we left.
You ain't want no damn chiropractor. We're gonna lift. You even go to the chiropractor, man.
I'm not breathing. My back hurts.
When you breathe, your back hurt.
Breathing.
It don't hurt when you're going swimming and going out all the time and laughing and joking. Hey, man, 15 minutes, get ready to roll. Hear me?
Yeah.
I will meet you downstairs 15 minutes.
With only a few days left.
Do you think, Trey, that that's a stressful situation for that young man?
Yeah, for him in that moment, yes, it's stressful. But he's in the NBA.
That's why he's in the NBA.
No.
That's the point.
But here's the problem.
Let me land, Trey, and I'm gonna come to you. The reason he's in the NBA is because his father created a stressful environment that he can understand how to do things at the best level. When he didn't want to do it, his father created that environment way before he got to that level.
His father understood what the mission was. That's what his father did. His father, what are you talking about?
You folded that quickly. You folded that quickly.
No,
clearly you wasn't used to stress.
Hold on, it's stress for the kid.
You wasn't used to stress in your life because you folded really quickly under pressure.
It's stress for the kid. But the best kids, for me, the problem with the kid was he didn't want to lift weights, and the best of the best is work out at 15, 16. I'm just saying, a lot of brothers didn't have. You didn't have to get no father to get you to work out. Everybody was buff in the neck and chest. What I'm saying is his father understood that his son had potential to go to the league. And his father,
where y'all be pulling these memories from?
But his father, that's why they both are in the league. This boy had the talent. He like, let me raise your level of expectation. Yes, it was stressful to the kid in the moment, but if you 15, 16 and you got an opportunity to take advantage of your world and you got an opportunity to do the right thing, man, do the right thing. Because if you don't, you're going to be more stressed going through your 20s because you're living in the same neighborhood.
So you saying this 16-year-old say, you know what, I'm going to lift these weights anyway because I don't want to be stressed when I'm 20? That's what you think that young man thought of?
He's in the moment. He's 16 in the moment. No. I bet he looked back and say, Daddy, I'm glad you made me lift them weights. Look at me now.
So that means you agree with Eda, man, that you need to create some stress because they don't know what's good for them.
In any capacity.
It's going to be better if you put stress on them. That's what you're saying?
Yes. Because I play sports.
So you retract the statement that you said earlier then?
No,
Yes or
it's
no?
all goes. It all goes hand in hand. As a father, you get the opportunity
Which
to do
side
that.
of the fence are you on?
I'm on both sides because as a kid,
Oh hell no!
You talking about creating a life for your child, your legacy. You talking about that.
So
Even
Trey,
man, did you grow up in a 2-parent household?
So Trey, you are telling me that you are not on either side of the fence. You just go wherever the wind blows.
Because I'm on in this instance, I'm all about what's best for the child. I ain't talking about the adult. I'm talking about what's best for the child. If you want that child to be confident, have confidence, and be successful,
somebody's playing music.
I think Trey, you got your phone.
That's Trey background.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You as a man, you can control that destiny for your children. I'm thinking about the child first. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna always agree with that coming out, but I guarantee you, right now, he thank his father. He don't see what his father's vision is, and that's the great thing of a father. Some of y'all fathers, y'all want your kids to be greater, and they ain't gonna like taking a bath. Some of y'all kids don't even take a bath every day. I bet they do when you say get your because it's all the same.
I don't know who kids. Hold on. I don't know nobody's kids. I don't know a father that's involved in their kid's life and their kids are not taking a bath every day. My kids take a bath every day. Like that's like basic stuff. Like
whether you're with the child or not, that's minor compared to getting the child to be above an average working individual. It didn't look like he lived in a raggedy little house like a lot of people. It was a nice crib.
Trey,
nice
I got a
life.
question. Trey, how can you give any advice if you don't actually have advice? You saying just go wherever the wind blows. You're not even giving us a direction, left or right. Sometimes I go left, sometimes I go right. It depends whichever the wind blows. This is what you just said. You said yourself that you are a fence straddler. You jump on either side, whichever one sounds better at the time.
In this instance, we're talking about children. What's best for the young man? Now, his father could have just let him go ahead and be mediocre and say, man, all right. But that shows his father didn't have leadership because his father understood
Trey, let me get a baseline.
Where I'm going. He wasn't at 8 and 9. The boy was already one of the best players in the country.
No, he wasn't. He's the best player because his father made him into the best player. But hold on one second.
He's not the best player.
I want to get a baseline.
I hope we can make players the best doctor, the best teacher, the best lawyer. I'm talking.
We can do that, but hold on one second. Let me get a baseline. So we're talking about the formula. The first step one, I said being able to create stress and teaching your kids how to deal with this stress is one step to being able to create successful kids. Are we agreeing with this, Gabe, or you disagree with this statement?
Creating a degree of stress in order for children's development. Is that what you're talking about?
So like,
I
believe that one thing that we can trace back to all most successful people is that they parents taught them how to deal with stress at a very young age, right? So do you believe?
No, I don't think so.
All right, so Gabe said he disagreed.
I think that.
Go ahead.
Dang, I kind of want to say a little bit more. I do think that there are instances where people need to experience stress as they're growing up, but I don't think that that's the primary factor. I think the primary factor is a consistent environment for them to learn and grow, right? I think that things like divorce, things like moving around a lot and changing school systems, things like, having very inconsistent home environments, those are things that are more important than creating a stressful environment. A consistent environment is more important than a stressful environment.
I think I see the disconnect here. The disconnect is they equate stress with trauma. So they look at being in divorce and moving as stress instead of actually learning and growing through life and giving them a controlled environment where they could actually grow as a human being. They don't look at that as stress. So I think it's just a miscommunication thing that's going on right now. That's what it seems like to me.
I mean, teachers are the first people to talk about it. If child is having different behavior in class than they had previously where they were successful, the first thing that the teacher is going to ask, and they've been taught this, right, is that what's happening in the home life, right? Is it consistent? Can they do homework? Do they have access to resources? Is somebody checking their home? Like doing all those different
that's what I'm saying, Gabe. So
either man,
Hey, Gabe. So what either man's talking about stress, he's talking about like we got a workout regimen. And even though you don't want to go out and do that work, we're going to go do it anyway. You make all the excuses you want in the world, but we're going to put you to the stress test and we're going to be consistent. and we're gonna keep grinding. We're gonna build up your vocabulary. We're gonna build up how you speak to this. And
Right.
that's what his idea. He's not talking about to the stress that you talking about. You talking about more of like a personal level stress or emotional stress.
So I wouldn't even consider what LeVar Ball was doing with his kid as stress. I would consider that as more discipline, right? Is discipline the same as stress?
But his kid was stressed out. That he was stressed. Like if you look at that video, I know y'all want to disagree, but he was in a stressful situation. He was like, man, can I go to the car? Like he was trying to find a way to not do that. And that what he was doing says, hey, regardless of how you feeling, we gonna do it anyways. That's how you react to stress. I'm not talking about your kid should be staying in the box underneath a bridge so I can teach my kid a lesson. That is not where I was going with creating a stressful environment for them to evolve. But I want to show
But that's
you
what the entrepreneur was saying, though. That's what they said. You know, you don't have anywhere else to go, right? In order to be a successful entrepreneur, they were saying that was stress. That they were saying. It's not this child development thing.
Let me play it from the. Maybe y'all agree from the. Yeah, it might be hard for y'all to agree from the boys' point of view, but let me show you how you create a level of stress from the girls' point of view. Right? Let me play this video real quick, and maybe this is kind of like bring it home a little bit more, kind of what I was talking about.
I hope the women are watching so they can do that with their children.
All right, cool. Let me play this video real quick.
Crazy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Give me 1 second.
Spoon away from you. So it would come this way, right? Away from you. Run the bottom on the ledge. Like this. Good. Then bring it to you. Like this. All right? Nope. So it would be like this. Scoop away. Run it on the ledge, then bring it to you. Let's hold it like a pencil. Scoop. Come toward me with
creating classes where they can go and understand the stress of eating right at the table and different things like that. Let me ask you guys a question because I think I got the wrong video, but in this video, you know, a girl didn't want to learn how to eat right at the table. She didn't want to learn proper management. And she created an environment that her parents said that this is the thing she's going to learn to be better at life, to be able to go to 5-6 course meals, if y'all guys know what those is. So when we start creating these levels of stress, do y'all think that these things are healthy or bad for our kids?
I think your points are not aligning with the videos that you're showing, because that was not a stressful situation that was being created. There was instruction. Literally just instruction.
So no. So the question I'm asking, if you have a child that do not want to learn these things, they don't want to eat with spoons, they don't want to understand what a salad fork is, they don't want to understand these things, should a parent create an environment that they're going to learn those things anyways, because that this is going to be the things that they feel that will help them later on in life?
I'll pass though, because
but it's easy.
You're losing it. But go ahead.
If you have children, and when I worked in the public high schools, a lot of children were first generation college students. Their parents may not necessarily understood what it even looked like trying to application anybody associated to college or university, but they still had the drive and they created discipline within themselves to be successful. Despite all the stress outside of their controlled environment, they still find ways to rise above that. A lot of us still have experienced that on our own journey. This little girl, it's new to her. She's 6 years old. So what else can you do?
Hold on 1 second. Hey, Manosphere, you there? I guess not. So what I'm saying in so many words is this right here. The point that I'm asking is, so do y'all believe stress is a negative thing for kids? Because it sounds like it's almost like y'all trying to push that if your kids are stressed, it's a negative thing.
persistent stress for children does lead to a negative thing. It leads to things like trauma.
Right.
So
like kids in stressful situations is not like a rock or it's not like a flower through concrete. It's like it leaves
So do you think
lasting
school?
Yeah,
impressions.
what age are we talking?
Yeah, because do you think school is not
kids,
stress?
so we talk about development.
Do you think school is stress?
I mean, it can be like tests and things, right?
Yes or no?
Tested.
That can be. Let's get off this goddamn fence.
It depends.
Yes or no?
For most kids, school is stressful.
Yes.
School is
So what I'm saying, school is stressful. Just because you don't look at it as stressful, just because them learning how to use the
There's
spoon
elements of
probably
school
is
that are not
it-
stressful at all. Like
I only look
recess.
at it as
And
I
that-
only look at
Because
it-
guess what? Teaching a little kid how to use a pencil properly, that is stressful for a little kid.
It's yes, everybody learning something new.
I mean, if you're in the surface class, like you,
in that
right,
moment,
come on,
it can be stressful. I work with 8th graders didn't know how to tie a shoe, trying to teach them how to tie a
Thank
shoe.
you for thank you, Trey.
In
Speak for
that
them, because
moment,
maybe you're not around
in
enough
that
young
moment,
children.
But in that
Because
moment,
you can sometimes, like, because I don't know if you have children, but if your children
Yes,
are
of
tethered,
course.
sometimes that kind of warps your mind of what's actually going on outside of your environment. If you, because
I
maybe you
work in
have
the schools
very
with
intelligent
the-
children, it
I
was
work-
easy
hold
to
up.
pick up a pencil, but
Young
it's
brother.
kids that have problems with picking up pencils and
I
using
know
them
that,
properly.
young brother. And
But
in that
having a
moment,
problem with picking up a pencil is not like creating a stressful. Like that doesn't mean that school is stressful. That doesn't
All right,
mean
so
that school equates to
let
stress.
me ask you this question: Do you believe sports are stressful? Hold on. Do you believe if a kid in middle school play football, basketball, do you believe sports create stress?
I think they can be in certain circumstances.
Yeah.
Yes.
in the moment, yes. I mean,
All right,
yes.
so the whole point is that means that we can get positive outcomes for stress. Do y'all agree with that, right?
Yes.
In some circumstances, yes.
I think it's just the word that you're using as far as stress. Yes, you're going to be in that moment, learning how to hold a pencil. In them 30 seconds it takes for you to hold a pencil, that's stressful. In that 30 minutes it takes for you to try to get your kids in the car and run down the street and get them to school, that's stressful. In those moments, yes. But that's not creating a lifelong devastation. Everything builds character. Everything is.
But why did y'all guys hear that I said that they got to be stressful their whole life, this lifelong stressful? I never made that
I
premise.
mean, when you get very little, listen, when you play a clip and you give very little information, right? And the clip was the foundation for you talking about this stress in people's lives, right? When you give that clip and we discuss from that clip and you don't give anything else, you can only the only result is for us to assume. So maybe you might need to clarify it more.
I think it's the crazy part about it. I'm saying that's just one of the formulas is your kids understanding how to deal with stress properly, right? And then y'all, especially Trader, gave me 10 reasons why I'm right, but y'all still just disagreeing with me just to disagree.
Nobody disagree. You said it's school stressful. It can be in certain circumstances. You played the LeVar Ball thing. Was that stressful? Maybe, maybe not. But most of us saw it as discipline. Like, it's not just disagreeing with you. We just going from what the information you're giving us. We just responding.
Let's use word discipline, right? I'll use it. Do you believe stress teach discipline?
Stress teach discipline. I feel like you just question fishing now. Like, what does that even mean?
Right? Because
does stress teach discipline?
Like, if a person stressed, would that teach them discipline? Doing something that they don't want to do, does that teach a person discipline when it comes down to kids?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's go to the next one because I believe Trey proved my point.
So in our community, in our communities, right? Based off your question, maybe I'm just too old to understand. In our communities, all of these young adults, young children who have been living under stress has created discipline in their lives. These little 15, 16-year-olds, a lot. You telling our young, if my young brothers, my young adult males, females, if y'all have lived with y'all stress throughout your life and it has created a beautiful life, please start coming forward. I expect to see 20 million of us somewhere for as subscribers and views in the next 2 days? Come on, where y'all at? If the stress that, because I'm understanding stress.
All right, let me help y'all guys out. Let's go to
Help me out. Help me. Where y'all at? Come on, come on.
Stress. Let me help y'all because maybe y'all think stress is negative. Stress is our body responding to pressure. That's all stress is. Our stress is only our bodies responding to the pressure that we're on. So that's not negative or positive. Can we agree with that?
You just gave a definition for the physical version of stress.
Oh my God. So
let's say physical stress. Let's talk about physical stress. No?
No, listen, if you listen
your
to what
bodies respond to pressure. It's not talking, it's not.
So me telling my children that they gotta wake up at 6 a.m. so they can get to school, and they start to throw a tantrum. That is their body reacting to stress. Do you agree or disagree?
Yeah, that's their body. They responded to, and the stress.
Yeah, Gabe. Do you agree or disagree? So we can get a foundation of how we.
No, I'm saying the definition he just gave. I mean, in that circumstance, yeah, it can cause some stress for the child momentarily, but the definition he just gave was the physical definition of what stress is.
No, it wasn't. It said the pressure. It didn't say
pressure.
Physical pressure.
Pressure.
I'm listening.
So it says. So I'm looking at that same definition, and it goes pressure or tension exerted on a material object. The distribution of stress is uniform across the bar. I'm saying, like, if you're gonna Google what we're talking about, Google it correctly.
Ooh.
That's the physical version.
All right, let me buy some time. Man of Spear, is that you, brother?
Yeah, that's me.
Right,
absolutely not. Absolutely not. Aaron, absolutely not. Have you been seeing what I've been seeing?
I missed
absolutely
it.
Not what?
Oh no, absolutely not. No.
You don't think that's Man of Spear?
No, they've been. We'll talk. No, I don't think so. He got to prove it to me. Like they've been having fake. No, absolutely not.
I could be wrong. I don't know.
So
Man of Spear, either man said you're gonna have to prove it's really you because he just overrided me.
I look. You see that, Aaron?
Yeah, he uses OBS to put the stuff on his face. So that's not abnormal of him.
I don't know, man. It's your channel, bro. I might be traumatized from people using that stuff on their face. I might not know no better. But if you familiar with it, you can bring it up. But I know that wasn't his face. I just know that wasn't his face. All right, cool. Maybe I'm wrong. All right, cool. So yeah. So it sounds like everybody's on board saying that stress is not good for kids. It sounds like that's the what Trey and Lise gave. Y'all guys are saying the stress is bad, correct?
No.
So you're not saying it's bad. So if I say that I create an environment that my kids can learn from stress, do you think that creates successful kids or don't create successful kids?
So creating a stressful environment is bad.
Yes.
But short stints of stress is not bad.
Correct.
That's my position.
Acting like I understand what y'all talking about is stressing me out.
But either man, you said
that's
you
what I'm
also
saying.
said,
not, I don't think it's
you also
framed right, but it's cool.
I believe both of you brothers have very good controlled environments too.
Well,
so in those particular moments,
Man of Spirit, what up?
What's up, man? What kind of helps with stress is going through something repeatedly. So pretty much, once you get used to being in a situation, that relieves the stress, and that's what people got to understand. Stress is normal. Stress is something that typically happens, so you don't have to replicate it. You don't have to replicate stress. But what you can do is get better at things. Some people are stressed for public speaking, but once they speak many times, what ends up happening is they get better at it. So it's an adapting system that you have to adapt to get better at it, pretty much. So you don't have to create stressful situations. You just got to see how your kids or others fare with stress.
So, brother, you saying stress is going to be naturally, right? And you don't want to induce stress on anyone.
Natural. It's like because all it is certain pressures. Like you're literally stressed that you're going to embarrass yourself. Some people stress themselves off embarrassment. So at the end of the day, stress is a natural thing. You don't have to create an environment for stress. Kids are going to naturally have it.
So the point, what I'm saying is that, because I think we're trying to take just part of the statement that I'm making. The statement that I'm making is teaching your kids how to properly be able to deal with stress is a good thing. And what I see with successful people is that typically they learn how to deal with this stress thing.
Well, the way I look at it, either man, when it comes towards like, I think teaching would be the wrong word. Like putting them in situations. The reason why I say teaching would be the wrong word is that they have to get rid of those fears that they're having that's causing the stress. So if you're talking about having them do more public speaking, if that's the fear, but if it's like public speaking, that's the best fear a lot of people have. If you're talking about putting them in a lot of situations where they have to speak publicly for them to get over it, then I get what you're saying. But if you're talking about, just throwing firecrackers in the room to see how they fare well with that, then I'll say no.
Yeah, so I never went from a negative point of view that I'm gonna try to throw a firecracker so they can respond to gunshots, nothing like that. What I was talking about is creating an environment. For example, say if your kid don't like reading in public, but you forcing them to face their fears. That's really what facing stress is. It's saying, hey, even though that you don't want to do it, we're gonna do it anyways. And I get it. You can create. See, this is, I think, the problem. The problem is that so many men out there says, I'm going to create this bubble for my kids, and I'm going to act like stress is not a real thing, try to keep stress away from them. And then when they get older, you know what's going to hit them in the face? Stress. And they can be like, man, I never learned how properly to deal with these things. I saw this in basic training. Dudes, it was dudes who family never had a stressful situation, and they broke down in basic training because their parents did not teach them how to properly deal with stress.
How are you teaching your children to properly deal with stress?
His controlled environment.
I'm asking.
For me, if I had a child that was if I had a child that was fearful to speak in public, I would try to figure out why is that child is fearful on speaking in public, because my stress test might not solve the problem. It might make it worse. So it could be something completely different why they're fearing to speak in public. Maybe they don't know.
You're figuring out root cause first, like why. Okay.
But hold on.
And then what? Like, how are you teaching them to deal with it?
That's crazy.
That's not a good example.
Figure out why, and you become. Okay, go ahead.
Reason why that's not really a good example. Only reason I say because thank you. Most men are not giving public speeches. Most brothers are not as confident to give a public speech for that example. Now, for a child, what about an 8-year-old teaching an 8-year-old how to ride a bike, gaining that type of stress? Because riding a bike, if you ever learn how to ride a bike, that's stressful in front of your friends. Your parents.
We got 50 different examples. I'm asking about the how. But one thing I heard is that he's discovering the root cause, like why. And then
let me tell you the how. Yeah, let's reset a little bit because I got to read these super chats from JJ. JJ says, we talking stress or distress or die stress? I don't know. I'm just stressed out reading these super chats. What's that say? Euro stress? Sorry. Nobody ain't gonna read the word.
Nah, you got it.
I haven't seen that word, but I don't know. It could be a word. Let's see.
He do this on purpose. Okay.
Yeah, I'm wrong with that.
It is. He want me to read this, embarrass myself every show. He do this on purpose.
Just sound it out.
What's it? The EU stress?
Earth stress. You stress. EUS. Yeah. See, I'm dealing with stress.
You stressing me out trying to not read this word for me right now. Won't you just support read the super chat, please? Jesus Christ.
Who, me?
Somebody
You
that has a
stress.
college degree.
It's the word is eustress. Eustress is good. Distress is bad. The problem is that people conflate the two, pretending it's all eustress. And the definition of eustress, is a moderate or normal psychological stress interpreted as being beneficial. That is your SAT word of the day.
I don't need no dang SAT. If JJ wasn't a general, I'll put him in timeout. Now, this is the question.
Eustress.
The question is this. Either man, is that the actual words you mean to use?
No, I mean stress. Okay. I use the word that I want to use. It's stress, because what the crazy part about it is
the word you looked up wasn't what you was talking about. But anyway,
I was talking about stress. So listen, so we can paint this picture that do we believe that 99.9% of adults are going to deal with stress when they get older?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes. Life is stressful.
All right, life is stressful. So can we at least agree that it makes sense for us to teach our kids how to deal with stress, since they have a 99% chance of dealing with stress?
Sure. But how? How are you doing it?
Okay,
how are you doing it, Eda man? Because you don't want to answer no questions. How are you teaching your kids to deal with stress?
So public speaking is good. So my second to oldest child, she hated public speaking. So every time we went into a room, you know what I did? I made her do public speaking. Now, you know what she's doing at her school? Public speaking. I make my kids face their fears, because I know for a fact that I need them to be able to face these fears while they're young, because when they get older, it gets harder and harder to face these fears. And I put her in a stressful environment to face her fears. That's how I'm.
So your goal. So you say that you make your children deal with stress by making them do more of what they're stressed out about.
Yeah,
that's the equation.
Yes. So, like, for example, if my child is stressed out about reading, you know what we do? We read books. We gonna keep reading. Like if my child is play basketball and she's stressed out about shooting jump shots, you know what we gonna do? We're gonna shoot jump shots to the thing that used to stress her out becomes second nature.
How do you know that that's the best way of teaching your children how to deal with?
Because it's working.
No. I'm saying, how do you know it's the best? So wait. Knowing something is the best way is also understanding if there's different ways too, right? So
cool. I get it. We can argue that you can find another way.
Nobody's arguing. This is a conversation. This is just a conversation. I'm asking you, how do you know?
I get it. You saying that you can find another way. So let me ask you a question.
I'm not saying that. Saying best implies that there's something else that is not as good. And I'm just asking, is there another way that you consider?
Let's use the public speaking. My daughter was scared of public speaking. You know what I did? Every time I got a chance, I made her public speak. And now it's second nature.
And you said that.
Okay, hold on. No, what would you did differently?
What would I have done differently? I don't know. That's your daughter. There's so many different aspects to teaching your daughter that I'm not privy to. That's not even a conversation. I just asked, is there another way that you've considered that is not as good as the way that you're doing now? That's all I'm asking.
So you asked me to consider a way that's not as
No,
good.
I'm not asking you to consider. By saying best, you're saying that you have considered. Does that make sense?
No, so as the father, because earlier we were saying the father knows what's best for their kids, right? I knew the best thing for my kids was for her to face her fear. She had a fear of doing it. The first time she did it, her stress level was a 10. The second time she did it, it was a 9. The third time she did it was 8. The 115 times she did it like it was natural.
Okay.
So, man, I have a question for you.
You have it. Got it.
Yes, sir.
You're a military man. We both are military men.
Yes, sir.
When did you, when did you face your fear? Was you 6 years old, 5 years old?
Yes.
And someone forced you to face your fear, or you just did it on your own?
Absolutely. My father had been forcing me to face my fears since I was a kid. That's why when people see me, people like, this guy have this unrealistic confidence. My daddy built confidence in me. My daddy used to have this statement. He said, "What do Williams do? We don't run from our fears. We face our fears." So I'm not talking about something one generation. I'm talking multiple generations of my family teaching us how to face our fears.
So question.
Yes, sir.
Your father's treating you that way could be your confidence builder, but it can be your child's confidence breaker. So that's why I say it's good to figure out what's the reason why your child has that particular phobia, because it may be something that you could do more harm than good sometimes by not trying to figure out why they have this particular phobia versus
I
just
mean,
saying,
even
hey, do it
thinking,
100
yeah.
times.
I get
I'm
it.
following you. I'm
Listen,
even thinking about public speaking, right? Because not everybody needs to be a public speaker, right? They might have a
but
fear
my
of it.
kids do.
I understand. That's for you and your household. But I'm saying
Right.
that's not like the formula for everybody's household. And there are some people who don't do any public speaking. And sure, they fear it, but at the time, it might not even be their strength, right? It might not be something that needs to be harnessed in their development. Is that fair? Like, does everybody need to be a
No,
public speaker?
I see. But the problem is what we're doing is we're trying to create a space where our kids can be fearful and they never have to face their fears. That's the point that I'm making is if your kids is fearful of something as a parent, I believe it's your responsibility to say, hey, we're gonna put on our big girl pants or our big boy pants, and we're gonna face this thing. And I want to let you know that as your father, I'm gonna be here every step of the way with you. I'm gonna be here, like everything. And you know what they realize? They feel like fear is false evidence that's not real. It's not even a real thing. It's something. It's a mental block that I'm helping them get past.
Not necessarily. I don't necessarily agree with that.
Question. You notice how with kids, right? Some of them learn one particular way and the other ones learn from it a different way. Some kids you might just have to beat their ass, and some of them you could just talk to them to get your point across. This could be the same thing when it comes to a stress. You got some people where you could be aggravating stress even more. Now they're fearing you. You're creating a separate level of stress now. Now they don't want to do things in front of you because you're going to force them to do things that you feel that they're fearful of. So you could be creating a whole new level of stress by trying to do it one particular way, because not every child learns the same way.
And not every child needs to learn a particular skill that a parent might think that is important. Like I remember I had taken like a tap dancing class when I like a summer program. And I was telling my mom I want to be
you
a
got
tap
beat up
dancer.
for
I
that.
want to do
I
all
know
this.
you got. Hold on. We're not gonna bypass it.
Class.
You definitely got beat up for that. They was definitely bullied.
Me? No. I was very, very exposed to a lot of different things.
Your friends wasn't capping on you. Your friends wasn't.
It was a summer program where everybody was in the tap dancing class, right? But I found that I really didn't want to do tap dancing. I really didn't want to be a performer.
You still got those moves, huh? Tell the truth. You still got it.
Not at all. Not at all.
You got it. Come on now.
Time was that dude with the dreads was tap dancing and everything. I saw what he was doing it, and I wanted to be like that. Like if my mom would have just kept on forcing me to do that, like I really didn't have an interest. Like why?
It's not even about the skill. It's not about the skill. See, everybody thinks if I want them, I care about her doing public speaking. What I cared about her said, hey, I believe I cannot do this. I'm going to do it anyways, and I'm going to accomplish my fear. I didn't care what it was. I'm not saying that she got to go be a public speaker now, but you know what I learned? Once I start teaching my kids how to face their fears, you know what they did? It increased their confidence. It increased their personality. Matter of fact, it's a reason that, you know, my that same daughter that I'm talking about, her friend, she's the leader of her group because she learned something that most people don't understand, how to face their fears. I'm not saying that she got to do you kind of understand what I'm saying? It's not about the public speaking. It's about teaching your kids that once we see a problem, we're not running away from it. We're running directly to those problems.
Does your kid have the autonomy to tell you, no, daddy, I don't want to public speak? No.
Absolutely not.
Oh,
that's another problem, right? Like,
so what's
your kid can't communicate their preferences to you.
What's gonna end up is they're not gonna communicate those things to you.
Yeah.
Let me tell you why y'all guys are so off. Your kids have the right not to make their bed.
the right.
It's not about that. It's a.
Hold on. Let me ask y'all a
that's
couple
different.
questions. Can your kid tell you that? Hold on. Can your kid tell you that they can't make their bed? Can your kid tell you that they can't brush their teeth? Can
Why
your
are you
kid
trying to
tell
switch it over to something else when we try
No,
to
it's
really get on the
not.
whole
Listen,
communicating the
it's
preferences?
obvious that our kids have all these choices.
He's
It's
switching
crazy.
it.
No, man, you
It's not
can't do
about
that.
choices, E. See,
Right.
when it comes towards kids, E, you have to understand. You have to speak to them to a point where they'll feel comfortable to come back to you. Because
Children communicating their preferences isn't a bad
once
thing,
they don't
right?
feel
Like,
comfortable
why
to
can't a
come
child
back to
communicate
you,
their
either,
preferences?
man, you're gonna miss out on a lot.
But see,
Because what ends up
that's
happening is
the
they're not
point.
gonna come to you anymore
That's
for advice.
the point.
It's like
That's
if
the
you
point that
it's
y'all
like
guys
if
don't
you
understand is
or
that I think the point that you
no,
don't understand is hold on. The point that you understand is first of all, my daughters feel very comfortable talking to me. Matter of fact, they says that they feel more comfortable talking to me than anybody else.
How old
This
are
is-
they?
hold
We're
on,
talking about something different.
hold
We're talking
on,
about
hold on.
communicating preferences, and you said
Hold on,
no. I
listen.
can't
Give
tell
me
them.
1
We
second.
can't tell you.
Listen. I am going to hear them out. For example, if my daughter tell me
Okay,
she don't
now
want
it's
to
a different answer then, because you said no before.
Listen. No, you said public speaking. They don't have an option with that one. But say, for example, if my kid say she don't want to tap dance or go to tap dancing classes no more, I'm not going to force her to tap dance. Those two things.
What if she said she had a fear of tap dancing?
So E,
She
what
feel like
if
she gonna
so
slide and
E,
bust her head.
Go ahead, man.
so E, so this is how I'm looking at it. If I'm your child, right? If I'm your child and I know I have a fear of public speaking, I'm never going to let you know that because I know you're going to force me to do it. I'm going to run away from it. And I'm not going to let you know because kids are very good at hiding things. That's one thing I've learned. Kids are very good at hiding things. They're going to tell you what you want to hear.
No, listen, I get how things might work in y'all house, but what I'm telling, the whole point that I'm telling you guys is, first of all, I understand there's some basic things that I feel that my kids need to know, right? First of all, my kids they need to know how to communicate effectively, right? You know, that's part of public speaking, right? Being able to talk to a whole
This an
room.
example of it?
Yes.
This ain't it. Is this an example of that clear communication? Because this ain't it.
Either man, listen, I agree with you in the regards to a child having the confidence in being in a certain situation, and I compare yours to I had a daughter because I was a father that was always physically fit and active and everything. So my daughter turned 6. I created a stressful situation for her. I asked her, I said, baby girl, what you gonna do? You gonna play sports or what? Because her mama plays sports. And I said, I don't know. I said, no, you have to do something, baby. So she got stressful. She started crying at 6 years old and walking around the block. And I was in college. So I knew I was in a nice little small community. So luckily she had enough wherewithal to walk around, cry. Guess what? She cried for 3 days and didn't want to do it. Now, I had to go back home. All that summer, she signed up for cheerleading practice and never stopped cheering. She was a national champion in 2009. I won a state championship in 2011 when she graduated high school. She's been doing that so long. She's college graduated, got a master's degree, and she's teaching cheerleaders today. Tumbling, and I ain't talking about regular cheer, I'm talking about tumbling, flips, and all of that.
See,
I created that situation. Now, what I had.
But hold on, listen. If you listen to what you said, you just agree with every point that I made.
I said part of that, yes, because when you look at it like that, you create opportunities for your children under a controlled environment. I put her in a controlled environment. She loved it. Boom. If she wanted to dance, she realized I didn't want to really dance once I let her try, because I played every sport except wrestling. I wasn't wrestling with your little meat on my back. I wasn't doing all that. But anyway, back to the children, it's great. But as she got into her adolescent years, teenage years, I started to be more understanding of the changes that's happening in that environment. So you can't just be like, you can't do this. No, man, that'll shut a kid out. And then, because it's one thing to say when our children are 8, 9, and 10, but when they 17 and 18, and they got little Jody coming around and they looking good, and you saying no, she like, oh, okay, I know why.
So, a good example. So you think that when I play Lamar Ball, saying that his kid's gonna work out even if he don't want to work out. Do you believe he should have just said, nah, you don't feel like working out today? Or should his children didn't have a decision in that matter? Which one you think was right, Trey?
It goes back to my point. As a father, he understood the mission. We work out
So
just like all the greats say. You work out even when everybody else is resting.
That's great. So listen, you hold on. I just straight question. So you said this man as a father knew what his child needs. So you telling me as a father, do I know what my child needs?
Yes, they are under your total
What
care.
are we arguing about?
But when you're talking a child and a teenager, it's different. It's not the same, man. It's a 6-year-old is not the same as a 16-year-old, especially a boy. What are you talking about? It's two different things. Even girls, you got to protect the girl at 16. If you got nice looking daughters and they grow up like the mama that you was with, then you got to protect her. And most fathers, there's an opportunity to start protecting, even if you're not doing a lot. It's not happening in single parent homes either, man. It's happening in your home because you married.
That's cool.
We got to get it to where, but we got to get it to where it's in all the neighborhoods and all the homes.
No, we don't. We got to talk about our homes first because we talking about successful children. We know. I think everybody believes the foundation.
Don't have no children.
Come on, Trey.
Be in your child's life. That's all I'm saying.
Trey, we understand that we believe the nuclear family is the foundation of creating successful kids. Like, we don't have to argue this point. Most people believe that. Most people don't think that one person can do better than two people's job. Do we have any disagreements on the panels about that? That nuclear family
I believe one person can do better than the two people job.
Other than Aaron.
I think it has a higher chance. I think it has a higher chance, and it's the most preferable. But I don't think that that's just like the only element, right, to create successful children.
So I'm just saying, but based on what y'all saying, y'all believe a single mama can compete with a mother and father in the house. That's what we believe.
A mama
come on, man.
A mama focus on the purpose.
You're just so black and white all the time.
Yeah. A mama
y'all guys are arguing
everything not black and white like that. Like
I get it, but the whole point of y'all trying to argue certain points is almost like you're trying to stalemate the conversation. Like
it's not arguing the point. You're making statements that
you're looking at it as an argument. It's a debate about what is the truth.
I get what y'all guys are saying, but what I'm saying is that we will agree in most cases, people will prefer to have a 2-parent home than a single parent home. And now I got people that I have heard argue that the single mama home is not the right way. It's trying to argue for single mama homes. That doesn't it's almost to a point that people are just
nobody is
arguing.
Listen to the words. There is a higher chance of a child becoming successful and coming up in a good environment with 2 parents, but that is not the only decider of the success of the children. It's not the only thing.
Let me play this video that Aaron played.
Read the super chat before you play the video.
Percentages and stuff like probability and
it's your super. Go ahead and read it.
No, I can't see it. I gotta blow it up. Let me see. Edelman Williams is 100% right. This is not a democracy. Did I say it right? Nope. We are our parents' friends. Kids can be mad all the time, but in the end, they will be better. They will be better
at this, right?
They put a red pill in an old folks' home ASAP. Go ahead and be mean to them.
Better at right.
No, red pill is right. So let me read. I got it. So he 100% right. This is a dictatorship. This is what he's saying. This is a dictatorship. This is we're not voting on what's best for you at my house. That's the problem that you telling me a 5-year-old got to vote on what he's gonna do at your house or what she's gonna do at your house. That is crazy to me. So when
nobody
I made
said it was a vote.
I got you. When I made the statement that no, you're not about to dictate what's gonna happen. You can tell me your opinion, you can tell me how you feel, but guess what? As your father, I'm gonna do what's best for you. Go ahead, Gabe.
I don't know. Sure. You keep going.
So do you think your child got a vote?
Man, I'm not even about to even play into that because nobody even said that. I'm not going to argue for something I never said. I'm not going to argue for that. So we can just keep I never said that. Nobody ever said that.
Let me play this video because I know y'all advocating that single moms can do good. Hold on, let me play this video.
Some can.
Let me play this video real quick. I got you. Don't worry. This is one that Aaron played yesterday.
At how much worse kids are around their mother compared to any other human in their life.
So is there a percentage?
Yeah.
Here?
It's a percentage. So is it 10% worse?
Up to 100?
More than 100.
Can't you only get 100%? I know you're trying a big ball here, but
Just in the research paper.
well, I've got to research percentages.
Children are 800% worse around their mother than they are any other person in their life.
That sucks.
Scientific fact.
800%.
So is that just a comfort thing?
Yeah, so the study
Scientific fact. 800. This is not either man
What's the
Williams
source
math.
for this?
This is a scientific fact. I know you want to argue. You can argue the point.
I'm not arguing.
Whether you
Why
believe it or
why
not.
do you think that? Your problem
'Cause
is
he's
that
trying
you
to
think
stress-
that people having a discussion and unpacking ideas is an argument if it's not 100% of what you're saying. Nobody is
And
arguing
even-
with you. We're having
Right.
a discussion. That's the
Right. And even then,
that's all it is.
you the same as a jackleg preacher when they try to bring up arguments in discussions and trying to make sure if you can articulate your point, because I want to believe you, but in certain situations, all of it levels out. Ain't nobody walking around here just stressing their kids out, and ain't nobody, and as a father and an engaged parent, you're not letting your kid just do what the hell they want to. You give them time.
All right, cool. So hold on, because the reason I didn't say this, I want the white lady to tell y'all. So the white lady said that it's a scientific fact that they're 800% worse than with any other human, not just their father, any other human, right? That's what the white lady said. Can we at least agree that this proves that a 2-parent home is better than a 1-parent home?
Because the white lady
majority of the time. Because the white lady said
psychologist at. Give me a sister psychologist. Come on up here.
They're worse. 800% worse.
I got the natural hair.
Conflicting ideas. She said behave. She was talking about behavior. Even in what she said, you tried to twist it. She was talking about behavior around other individuals.
Hey, guess what? Hold on. JJ just said you killed your argument. So is JJ saying that putting those kids in a stressful environment of a single mother actually puts them at a disadvantage and does not make them do better? Is that what you said?
I'm saying that first of all, we're
May
addressing
I
this.
speak on a single mother, please?
Go ahead, Trinidad.
May I speak on a single mother, please?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
She sounds like she don't
Hello?
play either, so you can't be quiet.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So it could be a two. Listen to all the guys on the panel who are married or who are parents of children. You can be a 2-parent home or a single parent home. I'm a single woman with raising a well, he 18 now, but of course his father was involved in his life all throughout his life, but we were single. And I ain't making it personal. But however, I understand because I grew up in a 2-parent home. So I get what you're saying. But even if you're in a 2-parent home, you fail. I'm not married. I mean, when I introduced myself to Fight Club, it was embarrassing, but still, I was supposed to be married. My daddy was ashamed of me. Hey, Siobhan, how you doing?
That's cool. So, but hello, so Trinidad, I just want to get a basis. Do you believe hold on? I want to get a basis of where you at.
No.
So do you believe that a single mother?
What I'm saying is, your child can be married because I have 5 siblings. One of my brothers passed. I have 5 siblings. Okay, and also, I just want to say that also, Bear, stop it. What I'm trying to say to you guys is, it doesn't matter if it's 2 or 1. It's how you're raised. It's just how, and not even just raised, because Your mom can say the sun is blue, and you can say the sun is green. If that makes sense to y'all, y'all gonna have kind of discrepancies. You know what
So
discrepancies mean?
I think what did she go? Oh, so she left. So listen, this is just how I have seen it, right? I've seen that you can have one man and a woman say the exact same thing to a child and get different results. Do y'all agree with that or disagree with that? Like Sharon can say something and his wife can say something, and the kids are going to react to a male's voice different than they act to a woman's voice. Do y'all agree with that or y'all disagree with that?
You could just get like some pills or something to get your voice changed and altered. If that's the case.
No, the point that I'm asking is, do you think that kids respond to? Do you believe that kids respond to their mother and father the same way?
I mean, depends on the household. Depends.
I would say 9 times out of 10, no, they different.
It's different. It's like I'm not saying in 100% of the time, but if it's a mother might have to say something 4 or 5 times to a child, and I don't know Sharon's household, but he can walk into a room and he can say it one time and those kids listen.
It's some soft dads out there. Like I think though, like it's some soft dads out there where the mother is the disciplinarian, but it's also can be the opposite situation too. I just always steer away from absolutes because absolutes are
We're not
just.
speaking of absolutes tonight. Listen, let me tell the people in the crowd.
Okay, if we're not speaking of absolutes, I just gave an example of a soft dad.
Listen, every statement that I make, I'm not saying 100%. I'm speaking to the majority, right? Let me put this out there for the YouTube people. I didn't think we had to say this every time I get on YouTube. What we're talking about is the majority, not 100%.
When you're talking to people who are logical, you need to say that. Yes,
I say that every show. Like we actually.
I don't watch every show. Every show is new. I don't know you. We all strangers.
Sharon,
so if I'm asking for clarification, I'm asking
we
for
say that
clarification.
when men talk, we understand that we're not speaking at all, or we're not understanding that we're talking about 100%. Nobody talks about everything can be proven that it's not 100% right. Any statement.
So then why do you call it an argument if somebody presents a different idea than you?
Right.
Because we're talking
when
about
you ask
majority.
one of these questions.
So because we're talking about majority, I believe in majority households where there's a man and a woman that the kids react differently between the two in majority. So 51%. Do you agree with that statement?
Let somebody else talk.
Either man, yes. Listen. But see, either man, you combining both. When men talk, yes, that's different. But when you're trying to present to an audience of different ages, from age 20, 18, I don't know, to 65, you got to make things clear because it's not all the same. There are some good single parents and there are some good single fathers, especially. And when the kid is with the father, and if he's with the father, it's the same grade as if he's with 2 parents. Facts. Go look it up. It's the close. It's both of them have A's and B's. It ain't just most fathers that have their children giving them baths, playing homework, their kids are thriving.
So if that's the case, you prove my point that 2 parents homes with a father is better than 1 parent home.
But if a mother's on her mission with her children, the children are just as likely. And the only problem with us, we get caught up. The mother has too much when she's by herself. It's too much. She spends 5 minutes.
Let's move past the stress part. So y'all would say teaching your kids how to handle stressful situations is a good thing. Can we say yes to check 1?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Trey,
I get you.
All right.
Hold on, E. We got to read the super chat that came in. Red Pill Ranger says the reason kids are like that around their mother is because women often suck at discipline and are huge enablers. My kids don't even fear their mom. She's supposed to be soft. It's soft girl hair. Red Pill also says, I asked my kids something once, and their mom has to ask 3-4 times. Laughing out loud. Of course, by then I'm coming in like Frank Castle. They gonna respect my wife. And somebody said, not tonight. Not tonight, Trinidad. Not gonna be tonight. Sorry, Trinidad.
All right. So
But the real reason why kids are a little bit more bad around their parents because they feel safer around their mother. That's the real reason, and they feel like they could explore more of their personality with their mother. When they with their father, they gotta be a little bit more strict. They gotta listen. They cannot explore as much because they gotta be strict.
We
It's
really
not
don't know.
because
We really don't know that. There are a lot of people that
no,
are
it's proven.
a lot of people scared of their mom.
All right. So step one, teaching your kids how to the formula for creating successful kids. Step one is teaching your kids how to be able to handle stress. Let's go to step two. Step two, how you react to your kids matter. Do y'all guys believe how a parent react to their kid matters?
That's such a vague statement. So we're gonna
What do
say
you mean
yes.
by that? Like, I don't.
No, just say yes. He wants yes or no.
Let's play.
That's
We ain't
great.
scared of
Let's play a
you.
video. Hold on.
I ain't scared of you.
Let's play a video
Like, so
for
what do you
the
mean
people who
by
want
it?
to know what I mean by that. Let's
I
play.
agree with that. Yes.
So let's play a video. Hold on. Let me.
I know you
it
got some
real
cocoa. I hope you got some cocoa kids up there or something, some nice little
Hold
curly
on.
hairs or something, man.
Let's play.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you okay? Oh, baby, it's all right. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. Oh. Whoops. What did she do? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you okay? Oh, baby.
So do you believe how? That's an example. I know it's not cocoa.
Lock that Australian up right now. Yeah, lock him up.
So the question is, do you believe how you response to your kids matter? That was an example. The first example, let me narrate the video. The first example, the kid didn't even hit his head. He hit his own arm and he reacted to the kid as if the kid was hurt. The kid actually started crying. The kid actually hit his head. He started laughing and the kid started laughing too. So
The kid did that because the kid thought that the dad was in pain.
That's a good take. That is a good take. But
that's logical take.
So
that's a great take. I was thinking the same thing here. I was like, it was a response to them.
Cool. So let's go back to the baseline of it, right? Cool. So my question is, do you believe the reactions in the home to what the kids is actually doing matters?
Reaction? You mean like the second reaction? You mean that?
I would say for 51% or greater, it matters. I would say that. Some kids, but 51% or greater, the majority of children, if they fall down and you don't react to them falling down, they are most likely to get up and dust themselves off. That's what most likely will happen.
I think it depends on the pain threshold. I don't care what y'all say. Y'all say whatever y'all want.
That's why I said 51%. Hold on.
Okay. When I go with 51% of opposite of what E say. E say is 49. I take 51 in the first situation, but in this, it's pretty common. Aaron's hit it right on the head.
Yeah.
As anybody to hit pain, now as you grow older as boys, we taught not to cry. And if it's a different, if you're around, if somebody break their wrist in front of all us, you may not get a tear out of it. But let it be with your wife or you by yourself somewhere. You might shed some tears if the pain is more intense enough. Just like a kid.
Yeah, I believe it's all.
So the kid is surprised by the sound initially, then the father react, oh my God. So a kid is gonna learn, panic mode. But then as he did it again, the kid, it was a joke to the kid because the kid understood that the level of comfort never changed. It was just the parents' reaction. The kid, remember, a kid is always looking in your eyes and they're gonna respond as you respond.
Well, what is proven, it's proven that kids mirroring you. That's why at a baby, if you smile at a baby, the baby typically smile. Like most people think that their kids are happy because they're happy kids, but they're really mirroring your expressions and the different things that you're doing. So that's what I'm saying is that you could teach a child a certain type of behavior by your actions too. So I want to go to the next level. I want y'all to tell me, was this mother wrong in this situation? Was she wrong in the situation for what she did? Okay, let me make sure that we off mute real quick.
Let me see how she looked, because depending on how she looks, she could be wrong.
Okay, let me unmute it real quick. All right, let's press play.
This morning I asked Bryson, sit down, buckle up. I'm gonna stop the car. Yep.
That's a good parenting. Was that good parenting or bad parenting? She asked that kid to put on the seatbelt. The kids refused, and then she slammed on the brakes. Was that good parenting or bad parenting?
Don't everybody answer at once.
If that was my child and she did that,
that is petty parenting.
I would say that's lazy parenting, because before you even drive off, that baby should have been in that car seat already buckled up.
it's tough to say, because I could say I look at it multiple ways. So I definitely think an idiot for posting that, JJ. I agree, but I look at it two ways. One, you want to teach children to be self-reliant to a certain degree, so they don't always have to ask you to tie their shoes, tie your own shoes, right? So buckle your own self in. I have no problem with that, right? So I could see it multiple ways. I think that could have went worse than it did. You know what I'm saying? Like, the nose could have been, you know what I'm saying, blood and all that kind of stuff. It could have went worse. It didn't. So I would say she probably got lucky, because there's no way you can predict how much force he would be leaning forward. You know what I'm saying? So that was a tough. So I think it's like,
and it was dangerous.
So hold on 1 second. So
hey, listen, people do petty parenting all the time. It happens.
But
it happens more with women, but petty parenting, it happens a lot.
But even man, it goes back to your original question. That parent was creating stress for that child. She created stress for that child. Come on now. Whether the parent was totally wrong, the baby could have broken his neck.
You don't know where I stand on the situation.
You let somebody that look like you try it in their car and they get it on video. See if them people don't come visit your house. Talking about, what are you doing with your child?
Who you think gonna visit your house?
Nobody, because I'm gonna make sure my child is buckled in. That's a learning process.
So having a child that age, right? Because that child's anywhere between 3 and 5. Can we agree on that? Having a child that age know how to unbuckle themselves.
Okay, but that's why as a parent, you think beyond that, understanding that it may happen one time. That's not something that happened one time. That's an incident that happens often.
So what should she do?
Child safety is literally.
I love the trade win.
Literally the parent's responsibility, like legally.
Cool. I got you. So Trey, let me ask you this question. This is the 18th time that this done happened with this child. What do you think she should do, Trey?
You should learn how to buckle up her kid before she crank up her car.
No, hold on. No, listen.
Hold on. I can't speak for what.
Hold on. I have a 2-year-old. My 2-year-old know how to unbuckle herself. This idea that I didn't make sure her was buckled when she got in the car, like, she know how to unbuckle herself if she want to. So
that's part of what the rear view mirror is for. You check up on the kids.
Let's say this. Let's break it down. She made sure the kid was buckled. She started driving. The kid unbuckled himself, right? Let's get out what she should have did beforehand, right? She made sure it happened. The kid did. Do you believe that she was wrong?
Yeah. So
the
answer to your question is, me being a lawyer in my second life, right? I'm gonna make an argument that a vehicle is a weapon.
Yes.
Right.
And she used a vehicle to inflict harm onto another human being. I could argue that that's not good.
That's abuse.
What's the belt?
Hold on. Okay. Yeah, I'm about to make Sharon point. So Trey, do you believe a belt can be used as a weapon, Trey?
As a weapon? Of course. If somebody broke in my house and that's all I got is a weapon, Come on,
I
man.
have how many questions? These old unthought, these
Let me show you how to lose an argument for no reason.
these childlike questions.
Right.
Okay,
Is
no, Trey,
is
so Trey,
today
cool.
Thursday?
So
Come on,
Trey,
man.
so Trey, no, so Trey,
Either
you
man,
believe
look,
that?
Is it raining?
So Trey,
reading a
hold
lot
on.
of books.
I want to make sure I understand what Trey's at. So Trey, you believe that you should not spank your kids or whoop your kids?
No, I don't believe that.
No, I'm asking, should you or should you not?
He
Man,
said
you
no.
gotta teach. Every child every moment for a child growing is a teaching moment. It's a teaching moment. I'm sure you don't reach back there and backhand your children and getting out of the car seat.
I got you, Trey, but I'm asking you a direct question. I'm
them.
asking you a direct question for a reason. Do you believe if a person whooped a child, is it wrong or is it right?
If a person whooped a child, it's all forms of first of all, a responsible. Are you speaking from a male's point of view or
A responsible, I would say the most responsible person you know.
A responsible adult. Every moment is a teaching moment. So if you, and I believe this, if it's the sixth time, then I failed. Then I got to reevaluate myself. But once they learn and understand it and they can complete that task for themselves, they must stay on task. And if they get off task, we're going to have a problem. We're going to have a problem.
See, but you're doing that tap dance. I believe you engaged in tap dance class. Because I'm asking
doing no tap dancing. You just be asking goofy questions.
No,
and it'd be hard to answer.
I believe these are very simple questions. The question is, are you for whoopings or against whoopings?
Listen, I got whoopings as a child, and I can tell you, I deserve the 3 that I got. I deserve them.
Are you for it or against it? Yes.
Do you
or
whip your
no?
kids or not? Yeah.
I've had to in certain situations.
Okay, so keep for it.
You didn't have to.
Hold on,
I
got you
for it.
So if you're for whoopings and whoopings can be considered as a weapon, that when you're making the argument that the car can be used as a weapon, you have just justified the 6th time. If this was the 6th time this woman had told her child to put on that seatbelt, it's justified.
Nope.
Not that. I wouldn't.
First of all, that's
not that whole rigmarole to say that.
But it's wrong. It's wrong. Like when we talk about discipline, right? We talk about provisions to laws, right? So parents have the right to discipline their kids. No, nowhere in there is there anything where they say you can use a vehicle to do it. Nowhere.
So
she didn't use the vehicle, she just used the brakes. It's a difference.
No, you literally used the vehicle.
Okay,
Like,
what would have happened?
The brakes are a function of the vehicle. You're controlling the vehicle.
And bust his head and bust their head on the console.
See, but this what would happen if she would have gotten a car accident and he didn't have his seatbelt on? Like we can dive into this 1,000 what if ways. Like this idea that no harm was happened to this child, because I get we can say if harm happened to this child isn't abuse, that's a whole nother conversation. But nothing happened to the child. We can say if something did happen to the child, it's a form of abuse. But since nothing happened to the child, can't we agree that it was not abuse?
One thing.
You asked us, did we think that was right or wrong? And everybody was saying, a lot of people were saying no, because it could have caused, it's no way for her to predict if that was going to cause any harm to the child.
Exactly.
That's what we were saying. It's not this other thing that you're talking about.
She don't have no
Well, maybe she knows exactly how much pressure to apply on the brake where the kid will actually hurt themselves. Just like how parents, parents could say themselves how much force they could put their hands on a child without hurting that kid.
You don't have no expertise. Okay, all right, man.
I don't think she knows how much inertia that she forced on that child. I don't think she knows that. Okay.
How long
I don't think she has a physics degree.
How long y'all think that child is traumatized with this experience?
Probably not, but
I can see some.
Okay, what are we talking about? Listen,
we're talking about the potential to cause harm. We talk about it's very clear. We say that it could have caused more harm than it did. In this case, it did.
And I can see trauma.
What we're trying to do is evaluate what happened, not what could have happened. We're talking about if we look at that video on what actually happened. Not what could have happened.
Play it again.
We said we didn't think it was good parenting because there could have been a potential for harm.
Whoa, let's play it again. Hold on, Gabe. We got it. Let him play it again. Play it again.
Logic
I'm
be
gonna make
whooping on
another
your Logic be whooping on either man, yo. That Logic be hurting them.
No, it really doesn't. Y'all guys just be like, you know what could have happened is, you could have walked outside and got hit by a car, so you shouldn't have went outside because
You
it's
asked
a
us our
possibility.
opinion of the situation,
Listen, I know,
and we gave our
I
opinion,
know.
and we gave a
Listen,
reason
I know
why.
y'all guys want to do it, but this idea of like what could have happened and what should have happened, I think it's
We
just
know
a
you
bad
just want
idea.
everybody to
I'm
agree with
asking-
you. You just want us
the
to
one-
agree with you.
The one thing that
That's
I
all.
asked Aaron, you know what
Not
Aaron
gonna
used to
agree
say
with
to
you
me
for some
all the
goofy
time?
stuff.
I'm gonna say this while I get the video ready. I'm
Play the
getting the video ready. I gotta talk while I get it ready because I
I
stop.
answered the question.
Listen, Aaron said we gonna react to what happened in the video. This is what Aaron used to say all the time.
What was
That's
your question,
exactly
though?
That's exactly what I did too.
But what was his question? He asked, do we think
Hold
that
on,
this is
I
good
got you,
parenting
guys.
or bad parenting? And we said we thought it was bad because of the potential for harm on the kid. Why can't you just accept that? Is it the fact you don't want to accept it because you don't have a whole bunch of yes people? Because everybody not agreeing with your method of parenting?
I am confident that some of y'all
I think the problem. I think the problem, Gabe, is that people will look at that and say you don't know the level. But if they whip a kid ass, they all of a sudden know the level. That's
Well,
the problem.
sure, that could cause harm too. But a car versus
No,
a belt.
we're not speaking about another
know.
situation. We're speaking about this situation. Play the video in its totality, please.
I got you.
So this morning I asked Bryson, sit down, buckle up. I'm gonna stop the car. Yep. Mhm.
That's good parenting. That's good. He's gonna remember. He will never not wear a seatbelt again. It's just enough. He's not gonna get CTE. No
Got it.
brain damage.
Okay, that's
I just played the whole video because you asked me to.
I understand. I understand why you cut it initially. Bad parenting. Bad parenting.
It's funny parenting. I
Yes,
tell
it
you that.
is.
Like first of
Yeah,
all,
it's funny until that baby hurt his neck.
she
or
didn't
something.
she didn't explain. She didn't explain and had a conversation with him. There was no conversation.
But you
No,
don't think
no.
it was a conversation after
We
that?
didn't- you asked me not to assume, not to think what could have happened, go by what happened in the video. And in that video, there was no conversation.
Exactly. So we don't know if it's a conversation happened or not. So we can't speculate
So
on
I'm
conversation.
speaking about.
We also don't know if he has brain damage. We also don't know if he
Oh,
has.
now he got brain damage. Oh, Eric, you think he got brain damage?
No. I'm bringing up an
have
example
expertise to assess
of
that.
Aaron,
going outside of the video.
Hey, look, this is
Man,
what
how
we know
ridiculous
from
it
this is what we
to
know
say that
from
you
the
don't
video.
think she
She
had
was
a
at a full
conversation?
stop, and she said, "I was arguing with my son about putting his seatbelt on. He don't want to put it on, so she went 5 miles an hour, pressed the brakes on his ass."
No, we don't know her speed. What do you mean?
You definitely.
Sharon,
do not
I
know
thought
her speed.
you was against abuse, Sharon. You missed
I'm
up.
absolutely against abuse, but I think it's just funny how they decide how
Pick and
to use it. So it's okay to use it when this lady did it in the car form, but if they pick up a belt and whip their kid ass, all of a sudden they got constraint. Even though they whipping their child ass out of anger, all of a sudden they got some kind of form of constraint against their child with a belt. Sure.
There's distinctions.
My whole
there,
thing
right?
is
Go ahead, Rob.
so the question is either man, would you have chosen that route to teach them?
Don't answer that question.
Well, I can answer the question because it's Eat the Man Thursday. Absolutely. See, the thing, absolutely, I would not have chose that route to correct my kids, right? No. The answer is no. I am not arguing. The whole point of this whole thing is I haven't told y'all where I stand on this situation at all. I just asked the question.
That's
was
why I
it
asked
good or
you.
bad?
Yeah, nobody's. I'm telling you, from what I saw, bad.
Yeah.
Bad
parenting.
I think so. His question to me was, would I taught my kid this lesson? No, I wouldn't have had to slam the brakes. This is kind of going to my point. I think if her husband was in the car, he would put on his seatbelt the first time. Because 80% chance kids don't listen. 800% chance that the kids gonna be whoever they want to be and do what they want to do. When you put a man in that car, it's a different outcome. So going to my point earlier, I think if the father was in the car, we would have had a different result. That's just my opinion.
But they an argument because you make
Hey, Aaron, so what happened to all these parents said this is going to hurt me more than it hurt you? They were just saying this to me the other day.
Listen, I don't have.
They just told me this, Aaron.
The only thing I can tell you is that she did not break it down why she did said thing. She just wanted to prove to the world that she was going to do it. She actually, and the moment to tell you why it's bad, she got joy out of it.
Well, no, but listen, this is the
I
key.
did a little bit too.
I get you, Aaron. Listen, she told her
first.
child repeatedly to do something, right? Can we agree with that?
Yep.
The child did not
no,
listen.
we cannot agree because she did not say that in the video.
Yeah,
we
she
don't know
did
how many
not.
times.
I'm willing to concede E's point that sure.
So
she
do you
might-
believe that she told at least twice?
We
don't know.
We can't make it assume right. We don't
No,
know.
no.
if-
She said it earlier, and she said it in the video too. Yes or
We
no?
do not know.
I'm willing to say she told her a couple times. I'm willing to believe that's plausible.
We don't know.
I think she said it 6 times. To be honest with you,
But what I can say is she has a bad habit on not putting a seatbelt on her kids if it's doing it that frequent.
No,
I'll tell you what else is a
like
problem.
that.
That
I
she
can't
uploaded
believe-
this as a
I can't
viral
believe
moment.
you-
She was
I
looking for a
can't
viral
believe
moment.
your
Goofy.
statement that your kid does that because according to you, you speak to your kids and your kids listen to what you tell them to do.
I said
So
capable.
I not take their seatbelt off.
I said no, they're capable. No, so what I said is a 5-year-old capable of taking their seatbelt off. Anybody got kids? Your kids are not capable of taking the seatbelt off after you put them
Another
on.
reason why it's bad parenting is because she posted it.
Yeah, my kids
for
ain't doing
likes and views.
Cool.
That's
So
another reason why it
listen,
was bad.
are y'all saying that y'all kids are not capable of pushing a button to unbuckle themselves?
Capable, yes, they're
Nobody's saying that.
capable.
They're
man.
very capable. A 3-year-old is capable. A 2-year-old is capable.
All
a
right.
baby that's walking is capable.
So us trying to make the argument that she did not buckle her child, if they're capable of unbuckling themselves, can't we at least draw a conclusion that the kid could have? Not saying he did unbuckle themselves.
Dang, that logic is, man. Either man, like, why you be doing that, man? Like, you
Can we also say that the parent was immature? Can we also say you had an immature parent?
Absolutely.
She is legally, she is legally responsible.
we all
She was
agree-
legally
listen.
responsible. She is
For that
legally
child.
responsible.
We
for
all,
if she sees
we
a
all
child,
agree that she was
does not
petty.
have a
No,
seatbelt on.
we
You have
all
to stop
we
the
all
vehicle
agree that she
make sure
was
the
that
child
was
is
petty parenting, bro.
It's
you don't
not
have to
petty.
try to
It's
overtalk me
illegal.
every time, bro.
Wait. It's not
You don't have
petty.
to do
It's
that.
illegal.
It
If she
was
sees her
not
child,
petty.
just
It's
so I'm
not
clear,
petty,
what
it's
part is
illegal.
illegal? Just so I'm clear, what part is illegal?
It's illegal if you have a child within your vehicle that is not safely strapped into a seatbelt. That is illegal.
So what did she do that was illegal?
She saw her child unstrapped from the seatbelt and she pressed on the brakes and put that child in harm.
How else is she going to stop the car?
Hold up. She controlled
Pulls
the
over
brakes
to the
already.
median and she straps the kid into the seatbelt.
How
No,
would she stop the car?
I'm saying the kid was stopping the
She
car so she
pulls
could
over.
buckle him.
Y'all
No,
missed
she
the
didn't stop the
point.
car. She hit them brakes so he could hit his head.
That's what I'm saying. She hit the brakes so she could stop the vehicle
No,
so she could
Cap.
put him in the buckle.
Listen,
she
two
stopped
things
that so he
debunk
could hit
that.
his head. Come on,
The
man.
video
That's
debunks
That's what I
the video debunks that argument in court because if she and let's just say the police, I'm just gonna do a hypothetical. Let's say the worst could have happened. This is a teaching moment. The worst could have happened, right? The worst could have happened because if you're doing this as a parent, then you're not a good parent. You have to make sure your child is secured in this car, whatever.
Right.
And if
I
you
get it, but
wait a minute.
you're making the same point.
Let's just say the police come. Let's just say something happens really where the kid gets hurt and the police come. You think mama gonna say, well, I was trying to teach him how to buckle himself and I had it on I got the video. So if y'all want to see it, so I was driving and I said, watch, he gonna be in the buckle.
I get the narrative.
She's also
and I'm gonna break
operating
his
the
neck.
vehicle
And I'm gonna break his neck.
while recording on her phone.
Y'all
Man,
still
that's a
have not
crime,
answered.
man.
Y'all have not answered Sharon's question. How is she going to stop the car without pressing the brakes?
Easy, soft brake like you pull up
All
and
right,
somebody
all
at a
right,
stoplight.
peace,
Come
peace.
on, brother.
All right,
You don't
all right, sir.
inadvertently.
Have a good night. Peace out.
Appreciate you coming out. Bye.
You don't,
Yeah, like
you don't
hold on, like,
inadvertently
he
Rage quit.
he
love
getting
it.
his feelings around every time that he don't like the conversations we having. Bro, you ain't got to come over here.
Hold on, Edie, man. You are
Maybe, hey, E, maybe
what I
somebody
can't
pumped the
say?
brakes before. He lost a couple of brain
No,
cells.
no, we know exactly what it was. She was looking dead into that mirror. She had complete control of that situation. But what I can say is that does tell me a lot. That tells me this is how she disciplines. And that's how she disciplines when she's enjoying it. I can imagine when she's upset, she probably be fucking them kids up.
Okay, Edie man, let's move forward. Cause she going to jail if I can. I'm telling.
All right, cool. So I want to play this next video, and I want y'all to let me know if you guys agree with this video or if you guys actually disagree with this video. Let me play on this. My bad. I must have refreshed it.
Kids a lot. Quit doing that. Why? Well, why? Why not just let your children do exactly what they want? When the answer to that is, well, first of all, it terrifies them because kids actually want walls. They don't want to be in the desert doing anything they want. They want a walled space in which they have the optimal amount of freedom. A good mother upsets her kids a lot. Quit doing that. Why? Well, why? Why not just let your children do exactly what they want? When the answer to that is, well, first of all, it terrifies them because kids actually want walls. They don't want to be in the desert doing anything they want. They want a walled space in which they have the optimal amount of freedom.
So do you believe a good parent upsets their kids often?
Definitely.
Absolutely. I upset my daughters at least 200 times a day. Bare minimum.
Yeah, structure is everything. You know, at the end of it, there's the building blocks of creating great kids, actually, structure.
So do you believe in that last video that we watched? Do you believe that her child learned something by not listening?
Yeah, she learned how mama was an asshole, but go ahead.
So you said that he learned, and you think the only thing that child learned was that their mother was an asshole?
I didn't say the only. You used the word only.
I'm just asking.
I know you're asking, but that's not what I said.
He learned that his mother is willing to produce physical harm on him to make her points.
Exactly. There we go.
So I just want to make sure so if a kid is running around doing something that's going to potentially hurt themselves and you keep telling them to stop, and then eventually you stop telling them and then they hurt themselves, is that the same as this lady pressing the brakes?
Nope.
No. Because them continuing on with the action is uncontrolled by you.
That little boy continued with the action.
Wait a minute, but the mother controlled the force of the stop too.
So did the parent when they was telling the kid to stop running around. They could have hurt themselves, right? You could have removed the thing that was hurting them, but no, instead you said, okay, go ahead, keep on running. You mind your business and you let the kid hurt themselves.
I'm gonna tell you what that lady did. I'm gonna tell you what that
with one and I agree with the other.
Just using your example, I'm gonna tell you what that lady did, okay? The equivalent to that car is he told that kid to stop running around and she clipped that damn kid. That's what that lady pretty much did.
No, because it's plenty of times we see a kid running and we can see the danger before it happens. Stop doing that before you hurt yourself. Instead of removing the danger that they run around in, we tell the kid to stop running because we don't want to remove the actual caution. So we'd stop. So somebody would stop. What I'm trying to say, and then they let the kid run into whatever that thing is. That is the same.
This is a whole
example.
This is a whole different scenario that you're creating, right? This is not the video that we seen. I want to make sure that's what it is. Because the video we seen, we don't know how many times that action was produced.
So, but hold on, let me ask: do you believe that kid learned the lesson to buckle their seatbelt or not? Medicare.
I mean, it's I don't know. That's the thing. It all depends. That's why I'm taking a long time to answer it. But I do think that's how that mother parent. She parent that way. She parents that way. Like that's her on in a good mood. That's not her in a bad mood. And most of the time, parents discipline their kids is when they're in a bad mood. That's her.
So, can't you say that you're speculating?
And I don't think he learned his lesson.
Speculator.
I don't think he
What
learned
you
his
did
lesson.
was you shocked the hell out of that damn kid. Because like I said before, that child is not as strong as you. So guess what? That slamming on the brakes could have caused that child to injure themselves.
I get what could have happened. Like,
I don't think he learned the
listen,
lesson.
I understand that if a child is running in a house with glass table, they can hit their head and die. I understand that what could have happened, but I don't think, from what I observed, I don't think that kid had any damage, like any serious damage, other than his ego.
No.
I'm glad you actually used the word think, so I can't even refute that because you're using the word think, so that means it's nothing we actually know.
Do you remember? So let me ask you this question: Do you believe that our kids should play football, Manosphere? Algorithm?
They can play sports if they want
Okay,
to.
listen. All right. Listen. So you saying that the chances of them doing a head-on-head collision is less likely versus that child hitting the back of that seat at a couple miles an hour?
This sounds like a different scenario you're creating again, because
creating
we're talking
different
about a
scenarios.
kid that we're talking about a kid that looked like they were probably like 3 years old, and you're talking about a full contact sport with kids that are more sturdier than this 2 to 3 year old child. So this is a complete different
That
situation.
kid was way older than 3. That kid was about like 7 years old. I don't know what 3-year-old you see that.
He was the kid. Okay, let's say 3. Let's say 3, 7, 8, 9. Let's go. We can take all the ages, but the problem is this, fellas. You throw different scenarios, but to me, I'm just trying to see where they connect. Football, for one, is voluntary, and even if a guy plays even in whatever sport, baseball, whatever, it ain't so much. He controls his ability to progress in it, but he still's up to the coaches, whatever, how much level of interaction he get. Now, in a situation where a parent, mother, father has a child, if this is something the mother has always done this to her child. All of this is learned behavior. He's learning those same prank antics through his mother, through her. She does it to him all the time. This is not something new. Now, as far as this kid growing, he is going to continue to go down the same road based off the mother's behavior.
I think she corrected the behavior. I think
she's promoting the behavior.
Listen, when that kid hit the back of that chair, I think she corrected the behavior. I don't think he's doing the same thing he was doing before. I don't think
that same kid that get pranked, that played on by his mama like that'll be the same kid to come to school and push your daughter down in the sandbox. It's the same type of behavior. Those things. Listen, the kid understands what
create a whole brand new situation. If you can create a whole brand new situation, Trey should be able to create one too. He can create the sandbox, and you're gonna create the football situation.
No, I asked the question. I said, if we believe football doesn't cause damage to the skull, or we believe the kid should be able to do that, right?
Did you play football?
To your new scenario, not the one we were just speaking on. Yes, it can cause damage towards the skull. To your new scenario.
And that same impact from that car is the same as 2 17-year-olds running heads up. That same impact.
No, it's not.
Edelman, to prove your theory, the theory, and you reenact the video. You go reenact the video with your babies and see if they come out.
I'm going to see if everybody else agree with you. You said 2 17-year-olds, typically people who have the strength of men, running into each other head to head is almost the same as her pressing the brakes and he hitting the back of that car?
For a 5-year-old, yes. What are you talking about? Don't you watch the car wrecks on the demonstration? The car going at certain miles an hour? Hold on, man. People get grown people get whiplash when they get hit from the back bumper in the front seat. They got whiplash for 3 days. What are you talking about? It's the same.
So that means you're against football too.
Brother, I played it for 14 years. What are you talking about? No.
But
it ain't just football. It's the structure that those sports provide. It's the same structure that you're teaching your children how to read at an early age, teaching them
let's move on.
It's the same.
Yeah, Either man, you
Either
kind
man
of
will
made
bump
the
your
point
head.
too, Either man. You kind of made the point with your example. When I say you kind of make the point, I'm saying that yes, injury can happen on either on in either scenarios. Injuries could have happened. But the difference between this one was completely preventable.
No, so the point that football is completely preventable too. I don't understand this mindset of let's tiptoe around because our kids can get hurt. This is why our culture is so soft nowadays. It's because we tip and toe around talking about, what could have happened. What could have happened is our kids could have got hurt. Come on, we can say that about any situation. Your kid running around with you and hitting the side of a table, hitting any situation, we can make that knowledge. But I do want to move on. I want to talk about because I want to talk about a book that I think will kind of lead this about creating successful kids and helping them kind of go into the future.
Why y'all bring up why y'all bring up football? Because of Alabama?
No, obviously not.
Oh,
Georgia team lost. He brought it up because that Georgia lost.
I wasn't sure because I just got back and y'all was talking about football. I was like, what happened?
So the one thing that we can say is that y'all wish y'all was Georgia. We're just gonna say that. Rich Kid, Smart Kid. All right, cool. So have y'all guys heard of the book Rich Kid, Smart Kid? Nobody? All right, so Rich Kid, Smart Kid is a book that Robert Kiyosaki, I know a lot of people know Robert Kiyosaki from the idea of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And he talks about the mindset of teaching the kids different things that they can be successful later on in life, right? So I do believe that it's like an ethical way that we can be able to make our kids smart and successful, but it's also a financial side to help our kids be successful too. Do you believe that we're preparing our kids to be successful financially as a whole, in our community?
Yeah. I'm gonna read the super chat before we even acknowledge this genius question that you have. Not sure if you're being purposely dumb, but it's 1,000% illegal to prank and slam your brakes on any passenger.
Shit. So what about when you gotta? Never mind. I'll leave it alone.
Just leave it alone.
I absolutely do not believe that 51% or greater are teaching their kids financial success. No, I do not believe that.
I believe this is one of the biggest issues that we're having in the community is that our kids don't understand. They're not financially literate after they leave the house. When they leave the house, they have no idea. Most kids don't know how to balance a checkbook. They never actually seen a way to really understand money, and they don't know how to negotiate their salary. They don't know none of these things leaving their house. Do y'all believe that these things are important?
I think a lot of people just gamble in life. Like me personally, if I had to make a choice, Georgia's head coach, Alabama's head coach. If I had to put my money on who's a better coach, I don't. Tell me how to make the right investment. Where's the best place to put an investment? Okay, that's what I'm interested in knowing. Okay,
I got you.
Which head coach should I roll with? Which one should I roll with? I'm just wondering.
Cool. So what I would say is whatever either man Williams roll with, that's the best bet. Okay. So I think you should just take my decision because I know a lot of y'all haven't been taught to think for yourself. So don't worry, either man Williams can help y'all think in those situations. I got you. So just say, hey, what you doing? I got you. Go ahead.
But if you take nobody's either man, we're gonna lose by 3. But go ahead.
Man, we're gonna lose by 21. What are you talking about?
When did we lose by 21?
If we take your advice, we're gonna lose by 21.
I'm saying, where did you get that 21 number from?
Well,
if I'm not mistaken, we were undefeated for 3 years straight before that.
Okay, well we switched.
I know your team.
Talking about football? No.
You don't want to talk about where you from.
I'm from Kentucky.
Hell, we know the Kentucky. They know how to lose.
Hold on. I'm not a Kentucky fan at all. Never have been, brother. Never have been a Kentucky Wildcat.
That's the point. You don't even have enough talent to be.
But you're talking football. You talking football. Football took me around the world. I'm talking life. Two different things.
What's your team, Trey?
The Cardinals.
No, what's your college team?
Oh, Mississippi State Bulldog, class 2000. Man.
That's worse.
I'm gonna go with my alma mater all day long. What you talking about?
Y'all know what losing is. See, this is the problem.
Man, we
When
can have
people
losing
from Alabama.
Wait, how much money you lost on that game? Just wondering.
No, I'll gamble. Listen, well, I do gamble, but not on football. Listen, so the question that I'm saying is, you know how everybody all the losers want to jump on the bandwagon for Alabama. Cool. When Bama fans say something to me, people from Alabama, I'll be like, cool. I'm cool with that. We lost. But it's always somebody from upstate New York, and their team ain't won a game in 5 years.
We ain't talking about Georgia. Listen, see now you acting like a crybaby because now you crying because Georgia lost. Man, move on.
I didn't cry at one time. Why
we
want to talk about the Mississippi State Dogs who lost 6-7 games this year?
Let's talk about what we're talking about because people need this information.
My team ain't been good for years, so I ain't gonna talk too much about it.
All right, so let's get back into the success formula. For kids, I strongly encourage people to get this Rich Kid, Smart Kid book because it teaches you how to start positioning your kid to go into the world to be financially smart, smarter than their peers. That's the key. Is what it is how do I know things that my peers don't know so it can set me apart for me to kind of go to the next level, if that makes sense. So I think everybody can see that. Can y'all see that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I want to play this video real quick.
Rich Kid, Smart Kid by Robert Kiyosaki. In his book, Rich Kid, Smart Kid, R. Kiyosaki shares his ideas about the financial education of children based on his personal experience. Well known as the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, in this book he tries to help parents give their children the same financial knowledge that his rich dad gave him. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click on the bell button to make sure you learn every time we have a new video out.
All right, cool. So first thing what he's saying is he said that he learned some things that the reason that I think he's listed as a billionaire now, that he learned as a child that separated him from the rest of his class. So I believe that we can agree that you can learn something as a child from a financial point of view that makes you stick out in the population. Let's go a little bit deeper.
He ain't no billionaire. He got divorced. He get divorced?
But they're still business partners.
No,
They're still business partners.
Something ain't right.
So you think that people can't divorce the right way? That's what it sounds like you're saying.
What's the right way to divorce?
I think that they still business partner. They didn't really separate their assets. It's still kind of under one umbrella.
Yeah, you catching your own self up, but you know it ain't no right way to divorce them. Take that back before you embarrass yourself.
So you're right. He's only worth 150 million. That's not a billion. That's right. Yeah, you're right. 150 million. Just 150 million. It's not that much. Let's play the video.
Firstly, Kiyosaki explains why the current educational system has real disadvantages. In the information age, the rules have changed. In some way, they're opposite the rules of the industrial age. Instead of the older you get, the more valuable you become, for many people in the information age, the older you get, the less valuable you become.
So do y'all guys agree with that point? The older you get, the less valuable you become?
I strongly disagree.
You strongly disagree. Interesting. Let's play it.
I don't know. These old people that I seen today,
our country is read by older people. It's not run by the young.
Let's play a little bit more.
Best grades don't count, and the future doesn't belong to the child with the best grades. But
do y'all believe grades matter in school?
No.
Yes, in school, grades matter.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. As as you go to college route, educational route, yes, grades matter.
He said,
So
listen to the question. Do you believe in school do grades matter? Yes. In school,
grades matter, yes.
So hold on. So let's talk about trade college. So do you think my degree matter if I got a C or A?
No, the degree doesn't matter as long as you get it in a particular field. The field matters because
So
if
grades
you
don't matter.
It still matters because if
It-
someone
it
asks
matters, yeah.
Hold on, we gonna talk
Financial-
about it after we finish the video. Hold on, I got you. Let's play a little bit more.
But to the child with the best winning formula for learning and the freshest technical ideas. Children need to learn, how to change, and how to adapt faster. Because many of the skills business will pay big money for in the future are not taught in school today. If such a gap exists, it's the parent's job to fill it in. Parents should share with their children that they will most likely have many professions in their lifetime, rather than one job for a lifetime. In his opinion, the main problem is that school doesn't teach basic financial skills. Children leave school without a winning financial formula for their life, which keeps them working hard, clinging to job security, and never getting ahead.
Should we tell our kids to abandon the job security mindset?
Should we tell our kids to abandon the job security mindset? Absolutely.
Let's play a little bit more.
Financially. Schools don't teach the survival skills needed for today's world. Security can't be found outside. It's found on the inside. It's hard to find true security with finding a job because your survival depends on someone else who's sitting on the other side of the table. Secondly, after pointing out the cons of the current educational system, he gives his advice how parents to recoup them. Children should know from the very early age that after school, report cards which adults have are their financial statements and their annual health checkups.
So do y'all believe that our report card as adults are your financial statements?
You could.
Yeah, it's a large part of it.
What is the report card?
Yeah.
So with that being said, so if grades matter, right, wouldn't a lot of people be failing in life based on their financial report card?
Yes, but how you present the question matters. Like, yes, in the grade of life, and we have financial report cards, the large majority of people would be failing. Yes.
Recommends parents teaching their children about money through games. There are 3 steps to learning: simple drawings, play, and real life. Games are fun and allow children to make mistakes and learn from them without the pain of losing money. Monopoly and Cash Flow for kids are highly recommended by him. Parents should find the way their children learn best and support it. The learning system is designed for only a few of the different learning traits, and it's parents' job to find the unique learning style of their child. The society needs to respect the gifts and genius each person brings to the world. In order for any team to survive, it needs the different perspectives of all modes: fact finder, follow through, quick start, implementer.
Do you believe that we're good at fact finding, the follow through, the quick start, and implementing different traits in teaching?
No, I don't think the United States do a good job at that. They kind of stick to the same curriculum, depending
Well,
on the curriculum.
I always thought that it wasn't. It's not the school system responsibility to teach your kids how to be financially literate. I think it's a lazy parent approach to put that on the school system. The person who's supposed to be teaching it.
I wouldn't even use the lazy parent thing, and the reason why I say I wouldn't use it, you have some parents that has to work 2 jobs. So what time are they going to actually have to actually teach that kid? Most of the time, your kid is raising themselves.
Well, that's your problem. That's
if you're in a especially if you're not in a 2-parent household.
I got what you're saying, but the problem is that your kids' financial well-being or teaching them how finances work is not that important to you. You're saying that that second job is more important than your kids understanding their finances. And I'm saying that's a wrong way to think about it.
But
You're
we
wrong.
know that's wrong. We know that's wrong.
You have
He's
to
speaking
blind-
from what the facts
yeah.
are. We know that
Think
that's
about
wrong.
it.
We know that's
Most people have parents that don't even know how to get their own finances actually in order. So you're in a situation to where you're trying to keep the lights on. You're trying to provide for your children. You're sending them to school, and you're probably a parent that's doing it on your own, and probably having conflict with the other parent, which also provides stressors. So your kid is kind of forced to learn through their environment. Luckily, we have these things called YouTube and stuff like that where they can develop skills to become something, but that's what ends up happening.
But your situation don't give you it doesn't give you the right to be a bad parent. Like I hear it all the time. Like I hear a lot of people make these, well, hey, I got to work 2 jobs, or I don't have the money. You should have been thinking about these decisions before you even had kids.
But either man, here's the problem. What they should have been doing is irrelevant to the situation that is at hand right now. You two brothers are in your children's you're in your children's lives from day one, and that's a difference maker. Unfortunately, in the situation, is not as many fathers that are determined to go by this regiment that you were taught. You weren't always this way. It was something that when you understood your manhood in your life, you're going to make sure that your children are beyond based on your teaching. A lot of children, like the brother just explained, if it's a single parent, she doesn't have the time. And that's why I wish the people would get it together and just get married. I have no children at all, because it takes a lot of time and resources to invest in a child. And if you can do that at an early age, and if you showing them and teaching them and talking to them about the process of life and financial responsibility and personal responsibility, they're going to be at that level when they leave your house and they prepare for the world. Unfortunately, not a lot of young.
But Trey, what I'm saying is, I'm bold enough, Trey, to say that you're wrong. See, not you wrong, but I'm bold enough to call these parents out. Check this out. You
I call them out too. So parents, go get all the financial information on YouTube and get these.
It's not like y'all giving these parents excuses. When y'all say, hey, you know what, they're working 2 jobs. Listen, I just want y'all guys to hear. Let me land. I got you. I got what you're saying. When you said, well, some people can't do this because they work 2 jobs or they don't have the knowledge, all that sound like excuses. I don't care if you're working 3 jobs. It's your responsibility to teach your kids how to be financially sound before they're 18 years old and walk out of your room. I'm not going to give you no excuse. I don't care if you're from the hood. I don't care if you're from the projects. I don't care if you got food stamps. I don't care if you're on Section 8. It is your responsibility. And we start having a standard that they're going to learn this in their home, and we're not going to push this off to a school system. That's when change actually happened in our communities.
Amen. Here's the problem. It won't happen in the school system because you're talking to people who are not into collective bargaining. When you own a home and you can create a family, you can be in a foundation. Those walls that you build up around your children, those walls that you creating a foundation, not majority, it ain't happening in the communities in the inner city like that. I'm talking. It ain't happening.
I'm not even creating excuses. I'm just looking at it from a real person standpoint on what's out there. It's not even about coddling anyone, because I'm not in the predicament where, like for instance, I'm not in the predicament where I can't afford the best for my kid. I can afford the best for my kids actually. And my kids do get the best. But I also understand there are people out there that can't afford the best for their kids due to their circumstances. They already had those kids. So to say, oh, you're a bad parent because you can't afford them now, at least they're there for them. At least they're not out there in the streets and not doing anything for them. And now you got these kids breaking in either man's house trying to take them sorry ass Falcon flags that I see in the background.
Listen to what you said. You said that if a person cannot afford kids and they have
I'm gonna
kids,
scream at you later. I gotta get up early.
all right, brother,
Later.
appreciate you coming through.
Thank
So I just want to make sure I understand it. You said I can't say that they are a bad parent if they cannot financially support the kids that they brought in the world. That's what you're saying?
No, no, no. What I'm saying is because I thought the subject was about teaching them about finances. These parents don't even know about finances. They probably still saving money in the shoebox versus investing their money. They're not aware on how to teach their own kids because they're incapable of bettering their financial standings. I'm not talking about them raising their kids like that. I'm talking about the money aspect of it. E. How
But
am I
I
something that I don't know?
I get what you're saying, but in my mind, and it'd be different if we had this conversation with somebody maybe 30, 40 years ago. But it's no reason now because everyone have access to the information on how to be able to increase themselves financially and be financially literate. It's literally a click of a button. Like all these people that we say, like I don't think people have a reason today not to know how to do it.
Could you?
If you say you don't know how to do it, I can bet my last dollars you just don't want to know.
It's like for instance, E, it's times where I have conversation with people and I try to get them to invest in certain stocks, just invest, period. They be like, man, I'm not putting my money in there. I'm gonna lose money. To them, they feel like if they take money out of their bank account, that they're losing. They're used to these habits of the bank holds my money. They still have a shoebox, I'm a money in the shoebox mentality. They don't understand the best
And
way.
that's the wrong mentality. That's the point that I'm saying is
But how can someone like that? How can someone like that has the fear of investing teach their kids not to have the fear?
But that's a lot of that's by default, though. I mean, a lot of people are born into these disadvantaged situations. Now you're saying based off where with the new now see let me correct because I like when young guys. Let me go back to when I was a teenager. When both of your parents working together made $50,000 together.
You going back 100 years?
No, what I'm saying is I'm going back when I was a teenager. He said 100 years. Okay, I got my little Moses going, but hey, listen. When parents were making less than $50,000 together, were raising children successfully and financially secure based on that environment.
Liar.
Now, no. Most people knew how to balance it. We was writing checks coming out of middle school. This was taught in school. A lot of these skills.
Oh, what? You didn't have no money to write no check.
No, but we understood that. So when a lot of us was coming out of high school, we were able to walk around. Even we stayed with mama coming out of high school, going to college, you had $40, $50 in your pocket every day. We wasn't tricking it off on a woman. We wasn't tricking it off on our friends.
This ain't got nothing to do with financial.
But what I'm saying is today it's a different dynamic. It's a different dynamic. And just because a kid doesn't know, it has nothing to do with the child. A lot of the parents need to get the information. And this is the thing. We understand what the problem is. We got to get to what the solution is to do it. And if you're saying the parents should have those skills, yes, I've asked all parents, even if you ain't got no kids, learn financial responsibility first. Learn that. Learn how to public speak. Learn how to learn how to do basic life skills of what it is today. Learn the technology skills. Learn how to read blueprints. Learn how to read transactions. Those are the things of the future. Those are the things of the future. So you have to teach those things. So if you're a C student, go to school more, become an A student. You can get free college. If you don't know you want to go to college, join the military. If you want to be an entrepreneur, understand as an entrepreneur, you can't do all the talking. You better present. No, listen. What I'm saying, you better present a quality product.
We got
you better present a quality product.
What you saying is just to hear you out, because it sounds like we came full circle. What it sounds like you saying parents need to do is teach their kids how to handle a stressful environment, public speaking, like all the stuff that you said is my opening points that I
Life
said.
is already stressful for a person with a big nose and big lips like me. It's already stressful. You can step outside of your community and life is stressful because you got to show them on their job on time. You got to make sure your kids get to school. Life is already stressful. What I'm saying, don't create the stress for yourself. Once your kids get out of your house, if your kids are not equipped, I would hope that if a lot of young adults are not equipped right now, step back a minute in your life, start getting those, go to those places, go to the library. You can read 1,000 books for free, all about finance. It won't cost you a day. And you'll be just as smart as somebody who graduated 4-year college. Simple as that.
But Trey, how you gonna get somebody to read a book that don't even read their entire paycheck? They don't even know how their paycheck is broken down.
That's the problem. But that's the point. We need to start saying this wrong. If you don't know what's on your paycheck, that's wrong type behavior. If you don't know how to do these things, it's wrong. It's almost like when I say that these things are wrong, I get so much pushback. Like, no, you just don't understand what they've been through. It's still wrong. I don't care what they've been through. It's still wrong for them not to know it.
I don't care.
Yeah, but who cares?
Listen.
I don't have no interest in caring about all that. If you don't figure out how to manage your money, manage your emotions, you're gonna be in trouble. Simple as that.
Let me tell you why we care. Because I get what Aaron is saying, but this all tied back to my original point that it is a formula to create successful kids. And if we do these things, the chances of your kids are being successful if you find a way to teach them how to deal with stress. If you show how you react to them matters. If you teach them financial literacy in your house, so when they leave their houses, I think all of these things increase the ability of them being successful. I'm not saying that this is the only way, but I'm just saying that you got a good chance if you're doing these things inside of your household.
But the thing about that is funny you say that. Most of the people that are financially literate don't come from households that are financially literate. They learn on their own. Like most of these people that go on and become, and I'm not saying that, don't get me wrong, you can come from a household like that. But if you really look and study the people, they parents.
Well, no, I think we're seeing multiple generations. We're seeing multiple generations of what success look like, right? So, like, if you look at the Fords, for example, you see generations of success. It's yes.
Who did you say? The Fords.
Yeah, but he's not even sure which Ford he's referencing, because which Ford is in charge right now.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
Yeah. See, there's
So the point that I'm saying is that yes, we can argue that some people can get it out the mud and do it, but I'm saying a lot of these things can be taught. These things can be taught inside of the home.
Yeah, you're right.
You don't have to go out in the world and figure all this stuff out. If your parents found a way to teach you before you left the house,
the problem, the people you referencing, their parents were not that smart. Their parents were not financially literate. These kids, they figured it out.
Well, I ain't gonna refer to the people I want to talk about, but the people that if we go to a group of people, they do this stuff. At 13 years old, they found a way to teach their kids all these principles, and this is why today we say run the world.
Yeah, but
they're teaching these principles.
Yes, however, there's more into it. Not only do they teach the principles, they create the environment. They actually employ them. They don't have to go outside of their community to get employment. They have employment set up for them. So it's that comparison, which I know you're referencing, is not a reasonable one in this conversation.
Yeah.
So, and I think you addressing the past. I'm talking about how we need to move from now into the future. It should not be an environment that our kids have to go. Our kids have to go outside of the household to learn these things. These things should be taught inside the household.
But you know how a lot of you know how a lot of this nuance that you're speaking of was learned as a child when I was a child. You know how a lot of us we were outside navigating the age levels of life. That's the difference.
Right, y'all ain't know about financial literacy leaving the house.
But we learned about financial literacy when you went to the penny store.
No, y'all didn't. Y'all ain't know nothing.
It wasn't about having millions of dollars like y'all chase, but we understood how to manage $50 if that was in our budget.
No, y'all did not.
Well, I don't know the guys. Listen, I don't know the guys y'all hung around. Like y'all say, where you from? I don't know the men that y'all represented. But in my house and my friends growing up, we all had our own. We didn't ask for nothing. We were driving, and our parents wasn't even buying us cars. We didn't sell drugs. None of that. Y'all
See,
life
it's just one of those
I don't
things that I'm gonna
experience
tell you guys this right here, man. We know that the old guys did not know how to manage the finances. Come on now. We can argue the points, but you know what it is? It's time to end the show. I think that this was such an amazing show. What you think, Aaron? I know it's a little bit different, but I just think that it's three, and I got 10 factors. I couldn't cover all 10, but I think those three things are the things that I think set people apart. You know, teaching people how to deal with stress.
Broke. They ain't had
They
no
was
paper.
broke.
They
Yeah,
stopped
like
running.
I don't even understand why they trying to paint this picture like they knew how to do the money and they did this, that, and third. Like if we talked to all of them, they told us they didn't know how to do it.
The agriculture and say y'all was picking, nah, dog, we ain't doing
But
that.
even they tell us, what we used to do is we used to just take our check and give it to Big Mom.
He said $50.
We
We spent $50. But we spent $9 on Monday, $7 on Tuesday. You know what I mean? There was a deal on Wednesday, so we only had to spend $350. I ain't trying to hear all that. I ain't trying to hear none of that. No.
So, but I want to tell everybody we appreciate y'all guys coming by. But talk about that, man. Just think about it. Are you teaching your kids how to deal with stress correctly? Are you reacting to your kids in an appropriate manner? And are you teaching them financial literacy? I think those are the pillars to be able to help you guys take y'all family to the next level. And we appreciate y'all coming over to the Edom Man Williams show this Thursday night. Y'all guys have a good night.